Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games. Bob, I just found the perfect jacket to cheat on my wife.
I don't think you should announce that.
Chris Wolfhard.
Not convicted of 34 felonies.
And Dr. Agro.
F.
Here on GigaBoots.
They didn't show it. What are you even saying F about? They didn't show F.
Therefore, F.
He's paying his respects to Project F.
You either give me an F or you get an F. That's how this works.
I'll be one notch more generous. You might not have gotten an F if you hadn't reminded me of short message. You should have looked at the reception of that and been, we should never mention this ever again.
Right? We made a statue of the coolest thing in that thing that shouldn't have happened. Oh,
And even worse, it gets to use the proper naming scheme you want for the thing you all actually like. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Big Think Dimension number 275. We just watched the State of Play. The summer game events just started. I'm very excited to talk about many things. But I also have to talk about Hellblade 2. This seems unfair. Our exact cadence of the way, like the part of the week we do Big Think Dimension means we will be possibly, very realistically, the only podcast with any real viewership, any real listener base that has to talk about Hellblade 2, because they're all done.
Yeah.
Those podcasts all came out at the correct end of the day, the end of the week, to not have to talk about it.
Technically, we could have done it last week if we streamed to it when it launched instead of waiting
on
until
Tuesday.
Friday. Yes.
Wait, wouldn't that have been your birthday?
Yeah, but whatever.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Instead, no, we have to talk about it now. We have to try and remember it now.
No, I remember it. It's a real shame because anything I have to say about it will absolutely spoil the hell out of it.
I mean, what else can you do when you're talking about a game like that that's got zero replay value and is 5 hours long and there's no actual enjoyment from the gameplay itself? It's all just from seeing what's in the game.
Let's try. You know what? Here's our new bit. Try to talk about this game in a way that doesn't spoil it. It sure had visuals. Hey, remember when there were those rocks and they were wet and we walked on them?
That was most of the game, yeah. Remember when Senua started crawling into Nutty Putty Cave?
Yeah,
it was messed up.
I thought you were going to talk. I thought you were going to talk about the forest of mental illness.
I'm trying not to talk about the forest of mental illness.
Right, we can't spoil it. I would say, given the context of Hellblade 1 being there for Hellblade 2, I would say that doesn't even qualify as a spoiler. Because that's what it's about. So we still haven't broken it. Hey, you remember that part? Fuck, okay. This is the fastest we've ever ended. Hey, Bob.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Aggro.
Hey.
Hey. Hellblade 2 is a game that ends and goes, this entire game was both about, what is it called? The Hedgehog's Dilemma and what the power of being a leader means and changes about you as a person. The problem, none of the rest of the game is about that.
Yeah, that sounds about right for a game that nobody there wanted to make that had no creative voice and was basically told, make the thing that was critically well regarded the first time again.
Senua is treated like she is someone who is prone to be a leader of people, that she earned this sudden rise. She literally just fights someone, I wouldn't even say brutally murders them, and then just is their leader now, even though that's not the context of that fight or anything that logically would occur because of that.
No.
that becomes the very ending of the game, and they go, that's what this whole game was about. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. And oh boy. So this is where I get to throw out my friend, who is the only big fan of Hellblade 1 that I know of, had the same reaction as I did of just being disgusted that they made a sequel.
Yeah, like I don't know what response to be expected. And I really do think Tamim might have left because they were like, no, you have to make a sequel.
Yeah, no, that absolutely matches up with who Tamim is as a person.
I don't think so. I think that because he said I stayed on 2 years after we were acquired, which says to me I stayed on the maximum amount of time my contract said and took my millions of dollars and left. And honestly, because he said I was considering retiring after Hellblade anyway. But I would work 2 more years for $20 million.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course, who wouldn't? A lot of people are doing that at Bungie right now.
Working is
Conversely, a lot of
Wrong
people are
word.
not working at Bungie, so other people can get $20 million.
I think burning the furniture to keep the fucking line high enough that you get that money is not technically working.
You notice how there wasn't a single thing about any Bungie property at that event?
Weird.
No Destiny.
Isn't there
No
supposed to be a new
marathon.
Destiny thing in like a month?
Yes.
Something like that.
I don't know how it's going, but that is the one where apparently it's going in the middle of this fire.
I'm sorry, it's in 5 days. It's on Tuesday, June 4th. Destiny, the final shape. By the way, you need 300 gigabytes to preload.
What?
Thank goodness they deleted all the content to keep the game smaller.
Bob, you excited for the longest giving games a chance we've ever done? As we
My
do
God.
all of Destiny 2's content.
God. So big.
That's how you kill a timer. Destiny 2 week.
Yeah.
God, I hope we can do it all in a week. I feel like that might just barely be possible. Anyway, I cannot express. Hellblade 2's gameplay on all sides seems to be somehow even further reduced from the first game, which I would not call a game full of rich gameplay.
No.
The combat feels even worse than it did then, weirdly enough. The shapes and form them together puzzles somehow seem even more rudimentary.
Which I can't believe that they were like, this needs to come back. This has to be something left over from the design doc. Like, yeah, let's do it again.
Yeah, this is a sequel, so just do it again is like the whole agenda. But the problem here is that the doing it again is somehow worse than it was the first time. A thing almost inconceivable.
Right.
Yeah, I came in with low expectations because it's Mental Illness 2. The bitch is back. It should be like the subtitle. And somehow they went lower than that even. Somehow they disappointed me even with the understanding of like... Because the end of Hellblade 1, we're in the spoiler segment anyways, is supposed to be that she allows herself to live. She allows herself to let go of the one she lost. She got over the depression that was given to her by the fact her loved one died. And she could move on past the weird voice in her head that was angry dad, and also the shadow of her having the survivor's guilt.
She decided to live with her trauma instead of being self-destructive and trying to kill herself.
So doing a sequel to that, fuck you. Because as everyone knows, when it comes to writing fiction, whether it's a TV series or sequels to movies or things like that, I argue books are probably immune to this, but really in those especially, your characters can't get better. They have to be in hell. So you made a sequel to that game with that ending.
Yeah, now that there are other human characters, it becomes very apparent, no, the demons are just real.
Yeah.
The demons and the giants are just literally real things. And the first game, it was kind of a mystery.
Well, for a
part of
little
it.
bit of this, they kind of play coy because it's like they're never at the same spot as things. But then it's just like, well, they're still talking about fucking giants.
Right?
Is everyone else using giant as like a metaphor for political strength? And Senua's seeing real giants? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm not going to lie. I plan to watch this whole stream. I got, I don't know, 15 minutes in, you got to the first line up the shapes into the symbol thing, and your inner voice was like, hush, 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 and you line up the symbol to progress the game. Like, I'm out.
Aggro, this is going to shock you, but that is 50% of the content of the first Hellblade.
I feel like in this one, even more so than the first, the internal voice thing just missed entirely.
Yeah, no, because a lot of times it's like, good job parrying.
Right, like in the first one, it's a lot of self-destructive. It's a lot of tearing yourself down. It is a spike in negative energy that I expect those inner voices to be. In 2, it's literally that, but half or 70% of it is like, good job, you nailed it. Congratulations, you won an iPod Nano.
Like, I feel like it shouldn't be the voice is now sometimes on her side.
Mm-hmm.
It should be the voice starts to talk and she's able to make it shut up. Sometimes. I feel like that is how the natural progression of that. I think that is the realistic progression
right.
of how that kind of thing works.
Right. There should be communication between her and the voice.
Learning to manage intrusive thoughts doesn't make them be on your side. It lets you reach in and turn off the bomb real fast.
Yeah, like in Hellblade 2. In Hellblade 2, it's not like, you should kill yourself. And she's just like, no, I don't. This is wrong and you're negative to me. Hellblade 2, it's like, you should kill yourself. And she's like, that is just too much, man. And he's like, okay, how are you doing? You want to talk about it, champ? You want to go for an ice cream? Like, it doesn't make sense. It does, like, to me, the internal... So much of this game.
Yeah, it's like literally that's all the game is.
All of it is just so... So anyways, yeah, the creative voice behind the first one's not on this game anymore. And shocker, this game is more of the same, but lost its spine and direction, its cohesive whole. Because as people who watch this channel know, I'm not a big fan of 1. I think it using its mental health thing as a weird crutch for marketing is a little gross.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think its message is very well conveyed. I'm deeply irritated that the source of... What was it? The thing I said in the middle of this game, it was like, men, the source of all of our power and all of our problems is like, weirdly enough, Hellblade, like, and a lot of Ninja Theory does with its female protagonists.
Mm-hmm.
And that annoys the absolute piss out of me.
Did we get the fetal position?
No, weirdly enough, we didn't get that once in this one. And
yeah, with Tamim's influence, he's gone now.
Yeah, I literally was going to say that when someone in chat asked earlier, like, did we get a fetal position? No, that was so clearly Tamim's kink. I'm glad we could hard confirm it.
Right? God, this has 3 directors and none of them were on gameplay, which shows so well. Like, no thought was put into this gameplay-wise. It seems like it's just, here's the stuff we did last time. It's all worse now.
Yeah, it's all somehow worse. Good job.
Hold forward.
Yeah, this game is... The majority of it is just walking.
Yeah, so much is just walking.
Heck,
there's even a place that's obviously supposed to be a gameplay segment. The
Forest of Mental Illness.
Yeah, Forest of Mental Illness. Instead, it's just hold forward. There's no gameplay.
You need to understand the Forest of Mental Illness is you and your 3 teammates disappear into the Forest of Mental Illness. You catch up to each one of them one by one, and there's no gameplay. There's no nothing. First one gets a fancy cutscene. Second one, no cutscene even. It's just in the normal gameplay. Hey, what's up? You okay? And he's like, I thought... Oh, thank you, Senua, for finding me. And then you all just walk out of the Forest of Mental Illness. I cannot express how much that is like, you have fucking failed on every element here.
Yeah, it feels like the whole end of, like, during the mental illness to their mental forest until the end of the game, it's like, this ain't done.
Oh, yeah.
This is just clearly incomplete.
Yeah, and then the end of the game being like, this is what it was about! Mm-hmm. And it doesn't make any sense.
Right, if there was another whole arc in the game, another giant, another everything, maybe you could have done that, but that wasn't there.
Yeah.
Because she only forms this team of 3 people before they go to the mental illness forest.
Which, worth noting, another thing about this game that is deeply annoying is the part is like, everyone's deserving of forgiveness, even slavers.
You know, I'm pretty big on forgiveness.
Yeah.
One of the rare things you can do to make me go, you maybe don't deserve forgiveness, is to be a slaver.
Yeah,
like,
no,
that's one of like 3 things.
What if they're a
thought we were-
slaver who sacrifices slaves? Is that better or worse?
That might be a little better.
The jury's still out on this incredibly complex Twitter argument you've started.
I think maybe you could swing that if you were if that was what the entire story was about.
Start the tier
Somehow
maker list.
I don't feel like that's what Hellblade does. Yeah, we need to be like 2014 Tumblr, where it's like we're power scaling what you can be forgiven for.
Bet.
we have to know whether or not like this redemption. I could get viciously angry online about this redemption arc in a TV show for
It's
children.
time to solve ethics, gentlemen.
Live on Twitch.
It's bullshit that Ken was allowed to be one of the Digi-destined after he was the Digimon Emperor. He should have been hung.
So yeah, Hellblade 2, I came in with low expectations, somehow completely disappointed me even further. I try not to bring up stuff like this, but I heard someone compare Hellblade 2 to Another World, the cinematic platformer from like 1991, and that really upset me. I was like,
It's not 1991 anymore.
Okay, so for one, the reason that game doesn't control as tight as a platformer is because it's doing a lot of cinematic things with the background, the character, the fluidity of animation, all of these things that make it look so unbelievable compared to all of its contemporaries. Hellblade 2 does not look that good.
Yeah,
I guarantee Silent Hill 2 Remake's going to come out, and it's going to look radically better in a way that makes you go, yo, what
But
the
you
fuck?
won't be able to zoom in on her eyeball.
Well, yeah, James is a dude.
Well, don't worry. Psychopaths are already doing the zoom in shit with comparing her to Aloy.
I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, they do that. Aloy, Kratos, and Last of Us 2 Ellie. I'm like,
Yeah.
good
You know,
Lord.
when we make fun of those guys, but the entire AAA industry sure caters to them. I wonder why they're all going to be out of business in 3 years.
Yeah.
And that was the Hellblade 2 segment.
Okay, wait. One question. Is it surreal to play a game that's just walking through the most detailed hallways ever put in the game? And that's like almost all of it.
But it's like, it's not detailed enough to really impress. It's less impressive for now.
But it's like caves. So it's just like,
Yeah,
right.
That's a really great
'Cause-
bump mapped rock wall.
Here's the thing. I've also heard people compare it to the Order 1886. That was a lot more visually impressive for its time than this is for now.
Right, a lot of it's because these different things have like a sense of art style and creativity behind them. Whereas Hellblade 2, when it does like the kaleidoscope stuff, that's cool.
But it
that's
doesn't
like
do
maybe
that
10%
often.
of the game at most.
Yeah. It's literally like 10% of the game.
But yeah, everything else is just really plain looking.
Yeah.
Like extremely so.
Yeah, I don't think it's a very good show. You literally have to be Digital Foundry to think this is a really good showcase for Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, I think that if just look back to back, if someone saw Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or Stellar Blade, they'd be like, that game obviously looks better.
Yeah, I imagine 99% of people on the planet Earth, if you show them like the really high-end parts of either one of those, unless they're just like, I hate anime, right? They would probably be like, yeah, that one's clearly a lot more impressive.
Does TAA squash this game? Or does it mostly survive that?
It's 30 frames per second, and
that's what makes it worse.
There isn't like enough detail in the things.
Everything.
It's so insane to say that about a game that's like, we use nani and lumens, and for me to be like, there's not enough detail.
Yeah, but most of it's just dark rocks.
Yeah, most of it's just mud. Like
most of it's
through
just
a mud river.
Dark brown. Mush.
If you're going to the photo mode every couple minutes, I'm sure it looks great.
Yeah. Yeah, the photo mode looked good. So yeah, I don't. The TAA doesn't squash much because there's not much there to squash to begin with. Honestly, I have a 4090. I could just, because I had for this and still have, it hasn't expired yet, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. I could download it on my PC, crank it up as high as I can, and then look at it and be like,
Well, maybe that would do it. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, okay, we're done. We're done talking about that. Hey, Bob, you played a little bit of Stellar Blade.
I did
for
play
the Hellblade, Stellar Blade,
right?
Flop Swap,
Probably
Destiny.
like what 8 hours, something like that. We played a lot.
Something like that, yeah.
That game's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Especially maybe it's just a contrast to Hellblade, and I'm like, oh man, this seems incredible.
No, I honestly, based on everything I had heard, I was surprised how much better that game was than my expectations of it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's because it was a $70 game. If it was a $60 game, I feel like people would have been more glowing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's generally. Yeah, that game is really, really cool. I love the enemy design. It looks so cool. It's like an entire thing of like. What sort of like things crossed with water bears, like so many water bear demons.
Yeah, they're just weird things mixed with buzzsaws.
Yeah,
like
it's like fucked up saw traps crossed with demons from Doom crossed with water bears. Like water bears are the palette of it. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
We need to stream more of that game. I need to see more of that game.
Yeah, the only thing that started worrying me is really late into what we played, we got into that weird open world-y part.
Yeah, where it's just enormous landmass.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that yet. Because everything leading up to that was really good.
Yeah, I need to know.
Mm-hmm. But we did start finding soda cans, which was pretty cool once we got to that section.
Also, I would like to say, chat, I did a great job looking respectfully. I don't know about you, chat. I hope you too were looking respectfully.
Especially when we were checking out the different effects that the
temporal AA and the mesh on the ceiling. Yeah, that was. I mean, it looked really weird. Chat agreed that looked weird with the temporal AA thing.
I looked disrespectfully because her outfit is bad until you're able to fix it.
Luckily, with the DLC that's for free now, they give you the Kunoichi outfit right out the gate,
and that's a damn good outfit. That is a damn good outfit. That honestly looked like a badass version of Kasumi from Kasumi from Dead or Alive.
It is weirdly just almost directly that,
and it's pretty cool. Hey, they added Ryu Hayabusa to what was it, Rise of the Ronin, didn't they? They added Ryu to some Team Ninja thing recently. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
There is a character who uses Ryu's fighting style in Rise of the Ronin, but
okay,
but it's not him because
it's not really him.
It's his ancestor or whatever.
It's
like in the Neo
guy.
games. Where it's like, duel me, I'm a member of the Hayabusa clan, I'm gonna use the swallow move on you and decapitate you instantly.
Accurate. Biblically accurate.
And I'm like, can it be the Ninja Gaiden Black version where every enemy can counter it because it was too good and that annoyed Itagaki, so he purposely made every enemy counter it because he's a bastard who will never make a game ever again because he's trapped in blockchain prison.
Oh, thank you. I was trying to remember. I was talking to, what was it, Gamma Chris about Japanese creators who ended up in the blockchain shit.
Oh, yeah.
So it was Hajime Tabata.
Yes.
It
Hajime
was
Tabata,
Keiji
Itagaki,
Inafune, and Itagaki. I knew there was a third, but I couldn't remember Itagaki.
And the Soccer Wars guy.
Oh. Huh.
But that one almost sounds like these are the only people paying money right now.
Yeah.
God, I actually, since I played some Rise of the Ronin, I went and played Ninja Gaiden 2 like this morning. I was like, this is so good. How'd they give up making this to just make nothing but Dark Souls likes?
Because everyone in the world said Dark Souls is the only valid action game ever made.
Yeah, so depressing.
It is. I honestly, with the announcement of the State of Play thing where they're like, Dynasty Warriors Origins, this is important, this matters.
Mm-hmm.
I could see Sony backing a Ninja Gaiden.
They better,
at least marketing-wise.
Somebody better be.
I could totally see that. I think people would pop. I think people would absolutely pop off for a Ninja Gaiden announced like in the next year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Besides, you know as much as I do, like Team Ninja just keeps going.
Yeah,
their output is mind-boggling.
Yes,
they've released a full retail game like every year for the past like 6 or 7 years.
God, I thought
this
they
year was
missed
Rise of the
year.
Ronin. Last year was Wolong. 2020 was Stranger of Paradise. 2022 was Stranger of Paradise. Okay, they missed 2021. They only released the compilation of all the Ninja Gaidens. of Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, and 3 that year. Then 2020 was Neo, 2019 was Dead or Alive 6, and then they missed a year again and only released like 7 games in 2017.
So,
Yeah,
it could happen.
it could happen.
It could happen. Here's to hoping it's not apparently crap like 3 is. I didn't play 3.
I'll still take 3 over more
Souls
likes.
Yeah. Why would you
Jesus.
want variety?
God.
I like the thing that they're making now. I only want that from 7 different developers. I have no appreciation for things that aren't my exact thing.
Do you actually play? Nobody
I say that a
actually
lot, but I
plays
don't take a tone.
Yeah. First of all, like, yes, I would like everybody to cater to me specifically and no one else. Like in a perfect world for me, that would indeed be the case.
I wouldn't want that. Maybe I'm insane. I don't know.
But I also feel like, I don't know. Does anybody other than a Dark Souls YouTuber play all these different Dark Souls likes? Like, nobody played Lords of the Fallen. Except Dark Souls guys.
I'm sorry, Lords of the Fallen?
Yeah, they took the off.
Yeah, they took the off.
Did anyone...
Do you think the next one's Lords of Fallen? We just take out the other the?
No, now they can actually move on to 2 because it's
Okay.
They reestablished.
Great.
Right, which will be Fallen, Lords.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I sure hope all these Chinese and Korean action games finally finish off the Souls subgenre. Yeah,
even Stellar Blade does feel less Souls-like than I was worried about.
Than a lot of the Souls likes are.
Like,
It's
yeah,
very Sekiro-y, though.
Mm-hmm. But even that, it's enough of at least a little bit of a variation. I wasn't dying every other enemy. I wasn't dying a ton to every boss, and that helps.
Did you have anything else you want to say about Stellar Blade? I really want to stream more of it.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of cool stuff in there. I definitely want to see the rest of it. And we just unlocked the gun arm, which is pretty cool.
Which is pretty cool. Oh, Aggro, you probably didn't know, and Bob forgot to mention, the lady from Stellar Blade has a giant ass. Okay, now we can move on.
Oh yeah, you get tons of costumes when you get to that first town. Like they're just so many you can buy. It's kind of crazy.
And that's cool. I like a game that actually outfits are really cool to have in games.
Yes. I would pay you real money, Capcom, if you gave me more outfits for Devil May Cry 5.
If God of War Ragnarok had like, hey, here's this like 70s pimp suit for Kratos. If you hit a location, you just got outfits that made no fucking sense for the setting or time. That'd be fucking
no, $40. Give me the costume pack. I need Kratos in like the 90s animated Spider-Man series Wilson Fisk outfit.
God,
Fuck that axe. You just got a black cane with a diamond on top.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. So yeah, it was really cool that she gets so many fucking outfits right off the bat.
Right. It's a little weird that there doesn't seem to be even different skins for the main weapon. Like, it seems like that's just what the sword's gonna look like the whole game.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Fucking sorry.
We have so many different costumes for her, but we can't give you even one alternate for this.
What else did you play?
I played a decent bit of stuff.
Okay, let's move on to that.
Sure. I played some more Wuthering Waves. That's the Chinese.
Anybody else hear
Genshin-like.
that name and just think of fucking Huawei saying it?
I mean, that's fair.
Wuthering
Waves. Oh no, Wuthering Waves are coming for me.
Bob, tell us about Wuthering Waves.
Oh,
By
no,
us,
you're
I mean
leaving?
anyone but me. Bye.
Oh my God, I was only going to say, yeah, I played this for like another.
You have to keep talking about it for minutes and minutes. You can't talk about things that aren't in the upper left.
Okay, all right. Yeah, Wuthering Waves. I played it for like another 30 minutes or so, and it is stuck in that beginning of an MMO that will not move. So I'm dropping it because I just can't. Like, it's been this long of just go around the town talking to different NPCs. It's like, dude, you made a full open world to explore. You made all this stuff. why is there a giant roadblock here?
Yeah, there is a limit to intro. Like, if you're not going to let me play your game, I'm not going to play your game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the game seems neat, but Zenless Zone Zero comes out in like 2 weeks. I can't. Let's see. I also tried a game called Rakugaki, which released on Steam last week. It's a 3D platformer where it's set in like a post-apocalyptic, or not a post-apocalyptic future, a oppressive future where you play as a graffiti artist who has to graffiti over TVs that are mind controlling people.
Oh yeah,
it's
this thing
like
that
the
they
Japanese
didn't show
sketch.
before.
The Japanese sketch, like when Japanese artists post their sketches, they post Rakugaki, RK, GK,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about graffiti. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. This game looked cool, but it's all about moving through these levels really quickly. And the movement isn't like, it doesn't have momentum to it really. When you jump, you lose all momentum. So it feels kind of like if you made a speedrun game out of like a Ratchet and Clank. And there's no shooting. It's really simple, just one button sort of melee attacks. This is Rakugaki. Yeah, it's weird. And also there's a lot of hidden collectibles in the stage, and the stages are pretty small. So it's that thing, that paradigm again, like we saw with Pennies, where it's like, you should probably go through really slow and find everything. And yet the entire gameplay loop is encouraging you moving fast through this environment. Like you even get a super mode if you keep moving and keep spray painting stuff. So it's just weird. And I think I'm going to refund it on Steam.
You don't do that very often.
No, I did buy this with the thought of maybe I will if it doesn't really live up to what I want. And it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Our new series where we steal Pat Stares at bit of getting games on Steam and refunding it if we don't like it enough. But instead of like reframing it and maybe a pseudo apologizing, we're just quadrupling down and getting more angry. And like, no, you deserve the refund. I'm adding the dev on Twitter every time we refund the game. That's our new series.
Yeah, and all the stages look really similar. So it feels like they made it out every stage out of only a few assets. And I was like, that's not enough to really get me to go.
Sorry, Tiff. Plush Mayhem's in chat saying, clip yourself refunding it.
I've got to stream the refund coming in.
Yeah, 1 second. And we're just tapping furiously waiting. Yeah, that's the energy of the TKO or OTK fucking expo. That's that energy of that as an expo is what OTK is. Those people are terrible. Anyways,
I also tried another thing on Steam.
Okay,
that released last week, called Devil Blade Reboot. This is a shmup made by one of the developers who's been at Vanillaware forever, like since Grim Grimoire or so. Apparently they used to make shmup games like just as free downloadable Japanese releases. And this is them actually remaking that fully and putting it on Steam.
Ooh.
It's got really cool art where it looks like it's all pixel art, but it's actually everything's in 3D, or at least they are when they do the shots of like at the end and the beginning of a stage where it flies in and you see the pixel looking thing that looks almost like Iridian 3D.
Yeah, I think I saw footage of this game and it looked really sick.
The soundtrack is really good. It's from someone called Hasu, who I thought might have worked at Vanillaware too, but seemingly not. I cannot find anything else they've done. Really neat game. It's got a mechanic where the closer you are to the enemy, the more score multiplier you get. And you get a shield if you use a bomb. So it really encourages you to like constantly be using the bombs and recharging your shield if you take a hit. And then they take that away from you if you go to hard mode. And you can only get shields from shield pickups that are once like 2 or 3 times a level. So it becomes very punishing. And it's got the old school like PS2 shmup thing where it's like, oh yeah, you can get credits. You don't start with any. So if you can get through the game, good for you. But if you can't, you have to play it a few times to get enough currency for playing the game that you can buy credits. It is pretty short, though. It's only like 5 stages. It took me like probably 30 minutes to blow through.
But when are you working on your 1cc run?
I was trying for a little bit.
All right.
It's very hard. But it's really cool. I definitely just checking out, especially like those shmups. The music is really good. It also has a way to unlock the original version, like they call it the retro version. I have not unlocked that yet, though.
Oh, okay.
It's also gotten some insanely stupid stuff, like you know how Atlas does this thing of don't stream the end of our game?
Mm-hmm.
They put it in this. They're like, we have a streamer mode, so it won't play the ending to our 30-minute long shmup, as if that's something anyone cares about.
I honestly, as of late, I've run into this enough where I'm like, I don't think you understand. If someone was going to buy your game because they saw someone stream it, they're 99.99% still going to buy it even if they see the ending because they want to play it and see it firsthand. How that works.
Especially with the shmup, there's basically no story to this game. Basically none.
Right.
There's literally a screen of text at the end. That's what they're like, don't stream it. Don't show it.
You're like, why did you not? Oh, that says it. Oh, that would have gotten my channel banned. Well, thank you, developer. You have saved me yet again.
Yeah, it's like literally like, in the end, it was war is futile or what something.
It was
it's over.
Earth all along. You're like, oh my God.
But it also has, every time you get to an enemy boss, they have the same voice. So everyone has the same voice as they say really goofy phrases like, I'll see you in hell.
Good. I might need some of these.
Yes. It credits text-to-speech at the end. I'm not sure if that's for that guy or for the obvious robot voice that one of the bosses is.
Weirdly enough, the robot's a real person. That person was the text-to-speech. Shout out to Siri, our main voice actor.
But yeah, Double Blade reboot. Real cool. I played more Rise of the Ronin.
Okay.
That game continues to just be kind of okay.
Whoa.
It feels like it really dried up on giving me new sword styles, which was a huge part of what like motivated me to keep playing.
Mm-hmm.
So it is becoming harder to keep playing, is that they're not doing that.
Yeah.
There's some insinuation I might go to Kyoto, though, and that'd be cool.
Guess you got to stick with it now.
But yeah, that's what influenced me to be like, this isn't how their games used to be. Maybe I don't remember. Maybe Ninja Gaiden isn't as good. Oh no, Ninja Gaiden is still sick.
I was like, maybe it sucks now. You go check.
It upsets me so much because Ninja Gaiden is like the only action game that ever got working. We don't need a lock-on system, and it works.
Yeah, that's true. I never once had a problem with it not having a lock-on system. A thing that I have with basically every other action game ever.
Yeah.
I didn't never even internalized it doesn't have one.
Right, because it's never a problem.
Yeah, they got that nailed down. What, it hasn't been 20 years ago?
Yeah.
And now we go here and it's like everyone, because of the influence of the Souls games, everything needs to have
really
toggle.
rigid lock-on.
Yeah,
that's a toggle.
rigid toggle lock-on. It's like, this feels terrible.
Like, you're absolutely right about that having happened to the industry, but it's always hilarious to me because when you listen to high-level Souls players, they're like, don't play with the lock-on, it's garbage.
And they're right. It has ruined the industry.
I don't know. I struggle. I feel like if you took the lock-on out of a Souls game, it just becomes unplayable.
I mean, yes.
The fucking lock-on is so dysfunctional and like such a trap. It's like, yeah, we made our restaurant wheelchair accessible in that like it's an accessibility feature that this ramp leads into a trash compactor that wheelchair people can go into. It's like, that's not good.
Yes, it is annoying in a Souls game when the enemy jumps over you or too far away or strafes you unbelievably quickly and the lock-on breaks. Now, what you can do is go play Code Vein, a game where that does not happen, and learn why it happens in Souls games.
I guess that's all I gotta say about that.
Okay.
The only other thing I played Multiversus.
Bob, so I went on my trip to Niceville. My pseudo, like, it's my birthday, might as well see my family, get some stuff done. And by stuff done, I mean eat a shitload of food.
Cool.
And I see that clip on Twitter, and I'm just like, that game really does move that slow. And it just froze completely, and Bob is just stuck in midair. And your fucking follow-up of, like, we were there for 6 minutes, and then I won.
Now, Bob, I have an important question.
What's up?
Were your suspicions right? Were all those videos just slowed down?
No, in fact, they were not. Unfortunate, I know.
What is their fucking plan? Like, you don't know. Part of the reason they, and I'm willing to bet the entire fucking reason they took this game down is because by the time they took this down, first month on Steam, 70,000 average players. 6 months later, before they took it down, 150 average players.
They're gonna hit that low faster.
This game died so fucking fast. Like, what was their plan? I thought for sure they had some kind of plan to keep that from happening a second time. And
Well,
it
they're
seems
like
they had nothing.
Our netcode needs to be perfect, so we need to slow the game down. And then still wasn't good.
Yeah, no, this seems broken in every, like, more than the beta in every way. That was my second online match. Second.
And people were quote tweeting that video clip of this exact same thing happening to them playing Garnet.
Yeah, that just happens. That happened with Jason too. But Garnet's a character from the original beta.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
So it seems more broken. It's slower. They removed tons of features from the training mode, I've been told, that like help you practice. And a thing everybody praised, which this was 100% the executive eye of Sauron coming onto them. Originally, you could use the entire roster in training mode or offline, even if you didn't have them unlocked. They took that away.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, no, that thing where it's like this was going to be valuable for tournaments, it's gone.
Yeah, they guarantee ensured like nobody would try to play this game competitively. They ensured nobody will play it with their friends. They made less money because now people can't check a character to see if they like them. So they will buy if they buy any, which they won't. They will buy purely on IP power. You don't want to sell more than just that.
That's crazy.
You don't want somebody to try a character and go, "Oh, I like how this character plays. I will buy them."
I think someone crushed the numbers how long it would take to unlock a character without using money.
Oh no.
And it was like 72 hours.
It's over. They're gonna
What
they're
the
gonna
fuck?
fall off even faster than the first time.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
WB.
And
Well,
like,
I
How
guess-
did you reverse Battlefield or Battlefront yourself?
I don't like every match before that. Because I did a single player matches. That was my second online matches. There's now a story mode. Maybe that's what they think will pull people in. There's no voice acting. Yeah, it's complete miss on all fronts. But the game feels so much worse than it did originally. Like in every way.
See, this sucks because I actually have money in that game. So I need to log back in and be like, well,
Yeah, maybe
I need to use it now before the whole thing disappears for real.
Oh, you have like money. I thought you just had already bought things. So
No, I'm pretty sure I still have currency.
I still have a bunch of character unlocks.
Yeah.
Which is good because apparently it's going to be
Okay.
$10 for a character going forward or something insane.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I just realized something. Hey, Bob and I on last Friday's stream discovered something.
Oh yeah.
Chat thought Bob was taller than me. When I told them I was 6 foot, they were like, "Oh, you're 6? Really? You are?" I was like, "Yeah, no. What is 6 foot?" They're like, "Oh, we figured Bob was like the Waluigi to your Mario." So, Bob, I have to just real quick make sure people. There we go. Okay, continue.
Can you squash me real sin?
Yeah,
like
sure.
Waluigi.
Sure. One second.
Yeah, that seems appropriate.
There we go. We can. There we go. Perfect. This is an accurate representation.
There didn't seem to be any new music either. Like, it was all the same old tracks.
Yeah, I heard the fucking terrible Batman song, and I heard the fucking terrible. What was it?
There's a Steven Universe one that's remixed and be terrible. That's one I always remember.
Yeah, no, I recognize every
What
song
did
and every
they
clip.
do? Like, forget what was their plan. They were gone for a year. What did they do?
I think they changed it to an Unreal Engine 5 project. None of it worked.
Oh,
and then
my
he tried to
God.
fix it for a year.
Why did they do that? Why did they do that? Man, Unreal Engine 5 is starting to become the joke about the joke we have about $70 games again, where it's like, if something says it's on Unreal 5, I'm just not going to look. I'm just going to turn off.
But the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yeah, I'm sure that game isn't going to be dog shit.
Is that Unreal 5? I kind of forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. The single player also kept talking about Rain Dog.
Fuck off. Are you serious?
Yeah, Batman's like, Shaggy, they must have stolen Rain Dog's gem. Which
They even went with a gem. They're even just literally, we made a Steven Universe-esque thing that isn't really Steven Universe, that is like a League of Legends knockoff thing.
I hear that he is some OC that's in some way related to Neverending Story, which seems insane. But I thought multiple people in my replies trying to say that's true. Right?
If you motherfuckers had voted for the Neverending Story, you would be joining us in this moment of what the fuck do you mean Rain Dog's an OC for the Neverending Story? But instead, none of you have never fucking seen it.
What do you mean? Yeah.
I'm
Once again, they just shouldn't have had Rain Dog.
Yeah,
Every
now Rain Dog
screenshot
is the
I see-
least of their problems,
Right.
but the fact that the story mode's like, I
don't
can't do
know.
this without my
Yes.
man, my good friend Rain Dog.
That turns me off a lot.
I cannot.
God, yeah. Like, I don't. There's no part of this done right. Not even one.
Yeah.
Hey, neighbor.
Hey, how's it going, Bob? Oh, it's the word. I come out with the Silent Hill 2 James Sunderland jacket, and I'm just like, Bob, my wife. Oh, let me tell you.
Turn around. We're not doing this. Find somebody else.
That's the correct move. If somebody approaches you and wants to talk about their wife and they're wearing the James Sunderland jacket, you tell them to go away.
But yeah, things feel even floatier and bouncier and wronger than before, and it seems like everything is more broken. Like every single clip I've seen of this game has been like, yeah, you can just infinite someone with anything.
Yeah. No, every time I look at every single fucking clip, and I'm the person who put the most time into this game. Every clip I've seen, I'm like, that looks so much worse than what was there before.
Yeah.
Yeah, like watching those infinite clips, I started to think in my most cynical, shitty brain, like what if somebody decided we can't fix this? Lean into it. Maybe we can get meme game status.
Our game is completely broken. Come look at it.
Someone's like ultimate. They add like Smash Ultimate style finishers to the game, and it's Desert Bus. It just starts. They're now
really
trapped in a game of you playing Desert Bus for 8 hours.
I really do wonder if this is going to like rattle the very foundations of the industry when it goes down in flames. Because the first time they can hide it going down in flames is, well, it was a beta. We took it down willingly.
Right. This is they are all in on this being a full release.
Every IP in human history in it, and is a big rent-seeking service thing, and is copying a popular one of the most popular games of all time, one of the most successful games of all time, Smash Ultimate. So if this bombs, like I talked about this on Twitter the other day, where nothing is doing as nobody can cope with the fact COVID was maximum revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Those people who are having like mental breaks over the line not being able to go up anymore, this will be like their deity died in front of them. Like they will have watched God die.
There's going to be a lot of that feeling in the game industry over the next 2 to 3 years.
5, 6, 7, 8, 12 years.
In an optimistic world, I feel like the burnout's going to happen so fast on this shit.
Did you see
God,
the clips
it's
of
gonna
two
be
Bugs Bunnies hitting safes together?
Hitting safes together? Like
Yeah.
they're creating safes to throw at each other? No.
And there's a guy in the middle.
No.
It instantly does like he gets completely locked in. The
Okay,
enemy gets locked between the two safes.
Yeah, of course.
And then just flies out in instant death.
So it's like the thing you can do in Smash Brothers, in Smash Melee, a game that came out 23 years ago, where if you fully charge the Super Scope and then have two foxes barrier it back and forth, it eventually creates the singularity.
But that's like cool. And this is like fucking rotten.
Yes.
It's just a normal move and not an item and
Yes.
not two of a character specifically setting it up. Oh. Let's not talk about Multiversus anymore.
Sure.
Did you play anything else?
I did play one other thing.
Okay.
I played through Animal Well.
Oh, you played through it?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
I did not like Animal Well.
That's awesome.
Okay, now when you say you played through it,
I hit credits. and
gotcha.
Then I was like, yeah, I didn't like any of that, so I'm not going to continue.
They're like, solve the greater mysteries. Wait, where are you going?
Yeah, I guess I would liken it to the Dark Souls of
GameStop TV, what are you doing in Big Thing Dimension?
because so much of it is there will be a hard platforming thing after 12 rooms of easy walking. I'm like, okay, great, incredible. So yeah, not really my thing. And also none of the movement options you get are fun to use.
Now I'm really excited to play it because Agra liked it and Bob hated it, and I don't know.
Yeah,
That's a whole spectrum.
Now
I could
I'm
come in.
curious.
I've always wanted to be on a spectrum.
And then
I've got good news for you.
You do? Is there a test I can take during Big Think?
And then I need to get Bob to play La Mulana to see if he tells me those are just the exact same games. Although La Mulana has combat and shit. All I know about that is I knew one person who spent 4 years trying to beat La Mulana. It's like these fucking puzzles are sadistic. I don't fucking understand what I'm supposed to do. I guess I'll just brute force it. That took 2 months.
Holy God. Holy God. That's a lot. I'm also excited for Bob to discover La Mulana. You know, honestly,
I feel like I tried to play it a little bit, like, but I never invested a lot of time into it.
Bob, you know what I've been playing.
What's that?
Okay, there we go. I was like, oh, Bob's gone into sleep mode. I've been playing Sushi Ben.
Cool.
1 second. We have to press our world famous button, which for some reason is still not on the Big Think page.
Game code provided by
The publisher, as in the developer, because I'm pretty sure it's an indie game. Anyway, Sushi Ben, for people who don't know, is like Mega Man Legends VR game where you're in a small oceanside town where there's a poor sushi shop that has seen better days because the master of the sushi shop went on travels to go and find new fish in the Arctic and other sorts of grand visions of his journey. And the poor lad left there in charge of this thing can't do shit for himself. So you, an out-of-towner who arrives on a train, and the person on the train's like, where are you getting off? And one of the options was like nowhere or something. And I'm like, are we just going to Animal Crossing this where I say not here and then the game just ends? I didn't select that option though. You show up and you're going to, in fact, rejuvenate this town, heal its problems. It's kind of like the Harvest Moon thing where you show up and it's like, oh, this beat down farm that just it's seen better days. You gonna help them out? And I was like, yo, it's like that, but for sushi. So you can go fish and you could go catch bugs to help the rice paddies grow better rice. And it's very visual novel, and it's got really good visuals, like to go with dialogues and stuff. They're good comic book manga style cutouts of the person who's standing in front of you doing a reaction. And they themselves are 3D. So you get to see the depth of this cool dramatic angle of them. Like, maybe maybe the muscle mommy does a Jotaro pose or something. There is in chat, you might be like, that's Dan, you're being no, that is a description of that character. Please go look up the person who gets the fish for the town in Sushi Ben, because Jesus Christ. It really is Mega Man Legends core though, with the art style. It's really, really good. It has been a really delightful game, but unfortunately, because it came out when I took my trip to another state, I didn't have time to play it. I only played about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Does it have voice acting?
In Japanese.
I didn't expect that because I thought it was made in the US.
I'm also under the impression of that.
Right?
It is fully voiced in Japanese, which is pretty good because since your name is the name of your character, and if I'm playing it on PS5, PSVR 2, it literally just pulls your handle.
Huh.
So they just instantly know what your name was, and I was like, I didn't type that in. Oh, that's really neat. But they keep referring to you in Japanese like as a certain title. Yeah, no, the game's really neat. It's delightful tones. I'm very curious about the mysteries of what the hell's going on there, because there's a frog statue that got possessed and is now following me around and becoming the bug net and the fishing rod for me with its freaky eyes.
Good.
Because it's an object that is served, it's specific Japanese culture thing, like a mythology thing, where it's just this object has performed a service for 99 years and it's gotten possessed by a spirit and now must do good deeds in time for the 100-year anniversary. Otherwise, it will die. Like it won't be able to retain its sentience. Yes, Tsukumogami.
Yeah, wouldn't that be more developed its own spirit then? No? That's weird.
I'm not here to explain Japanese mythology. I'm here to talk about a cool, cute VR game I played, which was very, very visual novel. I have no idea how long this game is, and that's my only concern right now.
Where you keep saying it's very visual novel, how long do you actually play these sections where you catch fish and stuff?
Far, I have not done very, very much of that.
Okay.
So far, it has been a lot of dialogue choices, a lot of walking around the town, a lot of things like that. But, once again, I only played it for like an hour and a half. But, there was a decent amount of the fishing when they introduced the fishing.
Okay.
And other things like that, and also the bug thing. I do need to play more to understand what the gameplay to story ratio will become at that point. But since all of the cutscene and dialogues, which the cutscenes are all, you're just standing there and they did a really good elaborate animation for all this stuff, are all really good. And the writing's very funny and the character designs are really good. I'm really enjoying it. I've been looking forward to this one for a while. It came out on Quest exclusively at first, but now it is out on everything. And apparently when it was out on the Quest, if I remember correctly, people were telling me it did not have an ending.
Huh.
And that was coming with it launching on everything.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah. So I'm curious how long it is. I'm curious when that's going to happen. Yeah, I'm seeing someone who I know played it in chat saying it's about 8 to 10 hours. So,
wow.
Yeah, no, it's
like a full game.
It's VR, but it's a full game. Can you play that game outside of VR? I can't remember. Yeah, it's really delightful. I've been looking forward to this for quite a while. It just had to come out while I was like going to a different state, didn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, Sushi Ben's really cool. I'm looking forward to playing more of it. Basically, the moment I don't have an obligation. So maybe, I don't know, the moment we've done podcasting today.
Before or after the gym?
Well, some asshole won't go to the gym with me. Aggro, do you want to go to the gym?
I mean, I can be there in spirit.
I'll just bring a tablet of your PNG tuber.
Yeah, just like tape it to a Segway, you know.
You roll it
like,
behind me.
I'm really feeling the burn, right, Aggro? And then Aggro is, a state away with 2 bags of different flavors of Oreos. It's like, oh yeah.
Right? Like I don't eat Twinkies regularly, but I'll go pick up a box for this bit.
One second, I have to fight this boss in Trails of Cold Steel 3.
Then Dan finished his workout at the gym before that boss ended. What am I talking about? This isn't a tactics battle. Hey, Bob.
What's up?
How many Final Fantasy 16 fans do you think played Final Fantasy Tactics and noticed certain things? Is it 0?
Yeah, I was like, I don't think there's that big an overlap between 16 fans and Final Fantasy
people who
Tactics
played
fans.
Tactics to a significant
It's been
extent.
hard to play Tactics for a while. We're
No.
old.
No, it's great. You just
Just get it on fucking iOS, which I don't even think you
get
can
it-
get anymore.
Right.
you get it on your
You get it on
iPad.
You get it on PSP and install the patch so it doesn't take 8 hours to load a battle.
No, that adds tension.
It's the authentic experience.
Yeah.
I will
Only
forever
authentic
treasure the
PSP
memory of
version.
doing it on the PS1 where I loaded up a battle and then went to make a sandwich.
I'm like, man, I love Tactics, and then I start a battle, and then I just fall the fuck asleep, and I'm like, man, battles take so goddamn long in this game.
I wonder if I would play it and be like, wow, that didn't take any time at all compared to fucking Project Cross Zone.
Yeah, I imagine compared to that, it probably doesn't take that long. I always just remember one of my first thoughts seeing a Disgaea battle play out on the PS2 was, holy shit, this is so fast and snappy.
Right. Yeah, it was quite the change.
Yeah, which was so smart and so good. Anyway, I just did the whole Sushi Ben segment while it says Animal Well on the screen.
Cool.
Anyways, the name of that game was Sushi Ben. I hit the button at the beginning, but I got a game code, so you can't trust anything I say. Did you know I fake enjoyment for... I don't know how much this game is. I'm going to look it up and it'd be like $60 and be like, okay, chat, I'm going to have to... we're going to have to roll some things back. Yeah, it's 25. That's what I expected. It's not like it's Legendary Tales out here for $50 fucking dollars.
Right.
Someday. Man, they showed that
Man.
other game during the thing, the state of play that was made by the Walking Dead people, and I'm like, hell yeah, 2 fucking skeleton games in
Right?
1 year.
I keep
PSVR 2.
considering just taking the plunge and getting the PSVR 2, but it's hard to justify a $400 because it's on sale right now. $450
Yep.
expenditure that will only lead to more expenditures.
No, that's fair, but
Yeah.
the cool thing is the games themselves average a lower price than like
Yes.
normal.
I'm really tempted. I really think I can just like eventually Sony's financials will get bad enough they'll have to cut its price permanently.
I assume that a PC adapter, we're going to talk about in the news, but the PC adapter for PSVR 2 actually, like, we have more hard evidence of that. So that's, that's good that there will be more functionality there. I don't think that'll prevent them from having to lower the price.
Right.
That would be impressive, frankly, if they were able to do that. Okay, everyone who just heard the bling, you're going to hear it again because Windows is a fantastic creature and has no flaws. Or it delayed the action so long that when I tried to do the action again, it went, what are you talking about? You already did it. And I'm like, no, I'm staring right at it not being done. Anyway, so here's a picture of Sushi Ben if anyone wanted to have, like, in 3D an idea of what these manga panels are doing.
Right.
So that's literally there in front of you, and also they can come out of these manga cuts on the side.
What a cool looking game.
It is so good,
Right.
man.
I've been sitting here looking at pictures of this. Like, if you've never played a VR game, I cannot express to you how compelling this looks, even flat.
Yeah, it's really fucking cool. Yeah, aside from that, though, because of my trip, I think that's all I played. And as me and I believe Shadowstreak in the Discord discovered, the only reason Valve hasn't announced their VR headset that has been in leaks and rumors forever is because I haven't bought a Quest 3 and they haven't bought a PSVR 2. So I held up my end of the covenant. I bought a Quest 3. Shadowstreak, you better fucking buy a PSVR 2.
Jesus.
These people need their Valve headset. So, I bought it off of eBay to save like $100.
Okay.
There are certain things about it, even when the PSVR 2 gets the PC Link adapter, it won't have that functionality, like the pass-through on the PSVR 2's black and white, which limits your ability to use a computer and look at a phone. It's not as bad as the Quest 2 is about it, where it's black and white and it is unusable for anything. But I got that. I'm going to look into that. It'll be a couple weeks before that shows up. So please look forward to me trying that headset and being like, yo, this sucks too.
Yeah.
Or maybe it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. No, I buy things because I want to hate them. Hey, Bob.
Hey, what's up?
You talked about everything you played. I talked about everything I played. But I didn't talk about the clown show, absolute ridiculous situation of I finally kneeled to Chris telling me over and over again, just get a gym membership. Stop buying fucking treadmills. Stop talking about buying equipment. Just sign up for the gym and go to the gym. After months of this shit, I finally sign up. And I'm like, cool, this one's 24-hour. I'll sign up. First day I go in, there's a sign on the door. By the way, next week, we stop being 24 hours. What the fuck?
Now I have to check if mine if the Planet Fitness website says mine is 24/7, because it is also not. It has a very similar schedule to yours.
I'm so upset.
Yeah, no, that's messed up, man.
I literally, the point is I'm supposed to have a fucked up sleep schedule, and the moment I wake up, I go to the gym.
Mine actually has a much stricter schedule than Dan's. It is closed much more often. However, I have a normal schedule, so the gym only being open 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. is less of an issue for me.
So I'm at an impasse. I might have to become a morning person. I don't want to do it.
There are other gyms.
But then I have to negotiate with them.
Cost more. Or won't have good facilities, or will just not be 24 hours.
It's a legit possibility that, like...
Planet Fitness basically isn't profitable at all. They have way too nice facilities for how much they charge you.
No, it's true. It's very nice in there.
Huh.
Like, it's actually like, oh, all this equipment's really good. And check this out. I used the treadmill, and it was an appropriate size for my height of person.
What? No way.
And you know, with the fancy treadmills, not sure if you've ever heard this before, Chad. There's a button on the left side. You can change the incline.
Fancy.
There's also a thing you attach to yourself, so if you're a dipshit
and
go flying off, it stops.
Which is good for somewhat, I suppose, but you're already flying off.
I have almost triggered that before, just because I was like, oh, I want to zone out and close my eyes and walk. And it's hard to keep your pace to the pace of the treadmill if your eyes are closed. If you don't know that.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I don't know. Bob, I'm sorry. Friday streams are going to start at like noon now.
Maybe we'll get more viewers?
I didn't have it. Oh, no. No, you're just going to have to do it because I have to go to the gym. Also, I decided I hate gaming. I actually don't care about gaming. I'm now going to be a himbo. All I do, my main hobby is going to the gym.
Now, Dan, consider that you start your streams at the same time, but you go to the gym before them on Friday.
Oh my god. Dan dead the entire stream?
How fucking long does Dan intend to work out?
So I did the Gamer Gone Rip stream. That was 6 hours and burned over 3,000 calories. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I keep seeing you do over 1,000 calorie workout. I'm like, damn, what are you doing?
Dan, you're too angry to be a himbo. Damn it, is that a thing? Damn it. Oh no. Damn it.
It's over, man.
I mean, first of all, if you use an elliptical, you can burn 3,000 calories a lot faster than 6 hours.
Well, yeah, no, that's. I mean, even like when I went to the gym. And
if you're trying to actually become ripped, working out that long is actually detrimental.
That's true. No, as I explained to people, if I lose much more of the weight than this, I will look weird. Like I'm like at 203 point something. If I hit 190, I would look weird unless I lost all this muscle mass I already got. Anyway.
Somehow Dan hits 190 and just somehow looks identical to Eric.
Is this a looping back around thing? This is
like it's not a similarity. It's exact, like face and everything.
How did his facial structure change? What is that going on? Hey, Aggro, what you been Stack Overflow? Aggro, what have you been playing?
Well, we've talked a lot about how this is a banger year for JRPGs. So I decided it was only appropriate that I play the original JRPG, Wizardry.
Oh,
You fucking bastard! How is Wizardry?
Wizardry, it turns out, was a game designed by psychopaths for very sick people.
that sounds right.
That is correct. Yeah.
It's really great when you boot up the remake, because that's what I'm playing, the remake that released recently.
What did it release on?
Yes.
What are you playing it on?
I'm playing it on PS5.
Okay.
The first screen you get is like the logo, and it's like Wizardry was a really important game in the history of gaming, so we're proud to have presented to you. Also, it was made in 1981 by psychopaths, so we added some quality of life improvements. Don't worry though, we have a special menu where you can turn all that shit off.
Yeah, Wizardry is one of those games where it's like, revive them. They got disintegrated. There's nothing to revive.
Yeah, like they're dead, so you take them to the temple and pay 500 gold to revive them. You make about 500 gold a run if you're lucky. Whoops, there was a chance it failed, and now they're ash. You can try to revive them again for more money, and if that fails, they're permadead.
Oh my god.
Holy shit!
Oh my god.
This is the origin of the CBT simulator RPGs that everybody pretends they like.
Yeah, like you start up the game and it's like, well, hey, would you like to start with the pre-made party, or would you like to roll your own stats? Listen, kid, you need to go turn on all of the new shit we added into the game. We promise. Been playing this game for 3 days. I just made it to floor 3 of this dungeon.
Ooh,
That's pretty deep.
It's one of those straight up old school, like draw your own map or get fucked, or turn on the quality of life thing, and the map the dungeon spell actually maps the part of the dungeon you're in.
ooh.
What's great is this game is actually built on the original game's code. Like it's running down there.
Hell yeah.
You can actually have it in the corner or blow it up into the middle of your screen. The original like Apple II DOS Wizardry screen with the wireframe picture and everything.
Hell
Wow.
yes. That's awesome, dude.
I'm on my third save file because the first 2 were just to start the game and figure out how you're supposed to play it. I was a couple hours in before I figured out, like, okay, I keep getting party wiped. I'm not sure how to make progress with level 1 characters, because I keep coming back with my thief dead, and reviving him is costing more money than I'm making. It's costing more money to heal at the end than I'm making per run. I don't know how this game is supposed to work.
Somebody please help me balance my economy.
No, but like I started. I've now got characters up to like level 6. I'm on floor 3. I'm moving and grooving. I'm pretty sure I'm coming up on the point where I'm going to figure out that this game has a long-term strategic arc that I am not fulfilling at all, and have fucked myself, and I'm going to have to go back and refigure out from square one.
Like, oh no, dude, you've been fucked for hours. You didn't know, but you're beyond the pale now.
I have not been able to marinate in old school AD&D juice this hard in a long time. This dungeon is old school Gygaxian fuck you. Like, what's in this room? It's a teleporter. There's no sound effect. There's no animation. The hallway, like, it doesn't change until you turn, and then you're looking at, that's not what should be there. Then you turn back, and you're in a different room, motherfucker.
Oh my god.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Swords and Serpents on the NES did the same fucking thing to me as a kid, and I'm like,
A lot of, like, every single early dungeon crawler loved the completely fucking no indicator teleporter. That's a thing that like becomes Wizardry stable, where it's like, it's a fucking impossible to, I hope you're keeping your own map. Oh wait, you can't even do that because of these teleporters. Die.
so Harmony of Dissonance had a very specific inspiration.
I don't know if this counts as a spoiler or not, but it's
Wizardry?
something. Yeah, for Wizardry, for 1981's Wizardry.
It's something so much older than any of the hosts of this.
It's something that took me
audience.
a long ass time to figure out. The levels of this dungeon are cyclical.
What?
If you go off the left edge of the map, you're now on the right edge of the map.
No,
deeply
That's not
horrifying.
fine. That's not okay.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Like some parts of the map are just in magical darkness. So you can't see, so you have to bump into walls to get the shape of the room you're in. And I'm like, I cannot be here. This does not make sense. This hallway can't be this long. And I look over and like you've got a little mini map of the direct area you're in. And I'm now overwriting other parts of the map that I'd already made. How is this happening?
No.
That's fucking sick. That just sounds like something they programmed, saw, and went, actually, that's sick. That's not a glitch. That's a feature.
Yeah, this is definitely that sweet spot of, like I said, this game was made by psychopaths for sick people. Open parentheses, me. I quite like getting poisoned, and all of the antidotes cost 300 gold, or I have to get... By the way, you want to get out of the dungeon? Walk back out.
Yeah, of course. What else would you do?
Like, I think there's an elevator that goes to, like, you can only get on it in floor 1 and floor 4.
Yeah, I've experienced that before. Yeah,
you can actually take it to floor 2 and 3, but to small areas that are locked off from the rest of those floors.
Oh!
Except on floor 3, there's a one-way door, which is a thing, that will let you from the main floor into that walled-off area. So you have to get in the elevator and go back to floor 1 and then walk back down to floor 3.
that is deranged.
Yeah, no, this game is deranged. It's unfair. This dungeon was made by an asshole wizard who stole a medallion from a king, and the king's like, go get it.
Man,
That's the funniest part of all these. Where like there's no grand plot. It's not the battle for the fate of reality. It's like, he stole my things. Go kill him.
Go kill him. He took my possession.
Like this is what old school D&D was. It wasn't like, first you need to decide who your character is and what they want. Your character is Guy. What they want is gold.
I'm very excited for Aggro and I to do our retro review series of Eye of the Beholder, the SNES version.
Jesus.
Or Amiga? I think that's on the Amiga. We could play an Amiga game that might be good.
Oh my god.
Or is it DOS? I don't know.
This game uses AD&D rules, so it's THACO. So when you get new equipment, better equipment, your armor class goes down. Because in AD&D, the lower your armor class, the harder you were to hit.
Yeah, THACO stands for
into the negatives.
Armor class 0.
Weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just a whole bunch of weird remnants of AD&D in this. Weirdly, for a game this like lauded and influential, I cannot recall, and somebody help me out if you can, any game that picked up its spell naming convention. Because it's just a bunch of made up words that don't even sound anything like what they do. And every time I go in the spell list, it's like Kaplackum. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. Okay, then why don't you just name it Darkness?
So there's this game called Dragon Quest.
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
it's not like that because Kazap does lightning.
Yeah, okay.
These are all shit like Badios, Kalki, Milwa.
That's kind of cool.
Galpo, Montino, Bamatu,
Necktie?
Bariko, Mokato, Kakamen.
It's from the old school where it wasn't about, like, the design of AD&D was less about game balance and gameplay and more about simulation and verisimilitude. So like you've got clerics and like they kind of do shit melee damage. Oh, you're fighting zombies? They have they have an ability that does not take spell slots that hits everything undead on the field and one-shots anything it hits.
What?
They just dispel the undead.
That's kind of crazy.
I believe the author of Dungeon Meshi cited watching their father play this game as inspiration for that series.
Yes, in fact, there's a thing where if you act, all of the main character races in Dungeon Meshi are just races from Wizardry. Like it doesn't even go out to the Dungeons and Dragons slate. It's just Wizardry.
Huh.
And it's old school D&D, so you have to pick your character's alignment. What they don't tell you is you can't have characters of good and evil alignment in the same party. Some prestige classes are locked behind alignments and also finding a super rare item.
I'm like, why do you even have alignments in a game like Wizardry? Like, how does that come into play?
Mechanically, just like it does in AD&D.
Okay.
There's all kinds of shit that like, oh, only a lawful good character can use this. Only a chaotic character can use this. There is this one spell I really like in Pathfinder called Hellfire Ray, which you're not supposed to use if you're not evil. But what it does is it shoots somebody with a fucking laser, and if they're killed by it, they go to hell. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they did.
Yup.
And also, a good spellcaster has a really hard time reviving.
Yeah, that's the shit. This is the Old Testament. Like, you fight a thing, there's a chest. Inspect the chest. Is it trapped? Disarm the trap. You open the chest. The trap still might go off because there's a chance you fucked up both the identify and the disarm.
Yeah, and it doesn't tell you, of course.
And then like you get an item, but you can't, like, it's a sword. Should you equip it? Don't know. You need to identify it. 3rd level spell slot, or climb out of the dungeon and go to the shop and pay him a shit ton of gold to identify it.
My God.
This game is like sitting on caltrops, and I love every moment of it.
Put that shit on the box.
But that is all I've been playing.
Chris Wolfhard.
Okay, I played several things. I finished Final Fantasy VIII, my playthrough of that. Final Fantasy VIII is a delightful game that was sure a disorganized lesson in how to break that game, but hopefully people learned some tricks. I learned that you can skip the god-awful tutorials in the first chunk of that game by mashing circle. And eventually it just goes, they go away. And those are the worst part of the game. So that helps a lot. It really is so different from every other Final Fantasy. Like, Squall really is a delightfully written character where he's constantly inner monologuing at all times. Like, you see his internal monologue all through the game. And whenever nobody else is around, he just starts going crazy and running his mouth. It's very funny. I also think the romance really works, because the first 2 discs are Renoa basically annoying him, and he's like, "Fucking leave me alone. I'm not interested in your quirky white girl shit. Leave me alone. Leave me alone." And then she goes into a coma, and he just kind of has this moment where he's like, fuck, because it worked. The spell she cast on him initially to make him like her finally worked. So now he's mentally ill, more mentally ill. Final Fantasy VIII has a really cool final dungeon where they take away all your commands, and you only have attack. You cannot cast spells. You cannot use items. You cannot.
That's weird.
Use summons. You cannot save. You cannot revive characters. You cannot use limit breaks. And each boss you defeat, you get to choose which command you unlock. You still keep all your stats. Like, it doesn't take away your magic, like your stock of magic. It just makes it so you can't cast it.
Right.
So you can still junction things, and that's how the first couple of them work. Like the first one is easy. If you junction shit to attack, so you deal damage, you kill them real easy. Then the next one is like, whenever you hit me, I'm gonna deal a shitload of lightning damage to the entire party. So you better have shit junction so you're immune to lightning.
The next boss, an electric fence.
Solve my riddle.
Yeah, it's
Squall.
like Ride to Hell. You got to drive across the state and blow up a dam.
Yes. It's the only way.
It is weird how that game has like almost no dungeons, and then it has like a really cool and memorable final dungeon. I beat the bonus boss Omega Weapon. I did it the way you beat any bonus boss in a Final Fantasy game, by spamming limit breaks. Luckily he has this motherfucker has an attack that he always uses second, his second move in every battle, that deals 9,998 damage. It does not reduce you to 1 health. It deals 9,998 damage. So if a character doesn't have max health, they're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
But luckily, I waited for him to do that and then used the item that makes the entire party invincible for so long. And since they're level 1, that means they get their limit breaks really long. And Irvine, and Zell, the shooter and the cowboy and the punch guy, their limit breaks last longer the lower health they have. So you get more time to mash the R1 button to shoot him, or you get more time to do fighting game inputs. So I killed him. He's not particularly interesting, but I did it. Then I beat the game. It has I think Final Fantasy VIII might be more visually impressive than 9. 9 looks really good. It has insanely good looking textures and models. But 8 has you running across full motion video constantly.
Right, and
Yeah,
it's
that's
really,
its
really
trick.
crazy impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And like it segues seamlessly into the normal gameplay constantly. And the end of the game has like all this like reality melting stuff that looks very cool that no other PS1 game did.
Hey, Bob.
But I had a lot of fun with that. My next stream is nothing because the Summer of Gaming is next week, and I have to save my acorns for the fact that we're going to be live almost every single day.
Yeah.
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 So excited.
So after that, perhaps something will happen. I do have plans for things after that. I also played more World of Warcraft Mists of Pandaria Remix, and to quell Dan's fears, I posted my playtime for the past 2 weeks in the Big Think channel for him to see.
I'm just going to look.
Let's see.
Okay. You know what? I can't say shit. You know why? I got the fucking trophy in Beat Saber. It's like, congrats. You played Beat Saber for 24 whole hours. And it doesn't count the menu.
Right.
Jesus.
And I'm like, wow, and I don't even like that game.
So I didn't quite understand how unhinged Mists of Pandaria Remix was going to get until I loaded into a dungeon. One of the party members was a boomkin druid. A boomkin is what people is a fond name for a druid that has moonkin form, which is like an owlbear with antlers. Their thing is AoE damage. That's why people call them boomkin, because they blow up. This motherfucker pulled every single enemy in the end. He just ran. He didn't stop to fight them. He just ran and got them all, tailing them, including the bosses, and hit the button once. And they all dropped fucking dead.
Nice.
Somebody told me, yeah, like people are crunching numbers. We're pretty sure you'll be able to solo the hardest thing in Mists of Pandaria by the end of June. For the freaks who are constantly grinding their power level.
Jesus.
Because there's no cap on any of this. The whole point is becoming broken.
Oh. That's insane.
And think you don't get you do get new gear, but the big thing is that you have a thing called the Time Walker cloak, and you get things called threads, and you click on it in your inventory, and it gives you a bunch of a stat that it puts on the cloak. Like you're weaving these threads into your cloak of time.
I think that's really neat. The idea of like, yeah, our MMO is completely unhinged. If you play it more, you get more powerful, no matter what.
Yeah, no.
Like, I can't believe no one's done that before.
I mean, everyone's so afraid. You know, Dragon Ball GT Final Bout knew what it was all about in like 1999 or whatever.
Right.
Sometimes you just want to play a game and get completely broken levels of strong.
People just have the fear of like releasing a brand new expansion, and the player who's been playing for literally 12 years in game.
That's how Destiny should work.
Is going to hit the final boss in one punch and kill it.
What if Destiny
now, they will
was
take
the
this away
opposite?
at the end of this event. They will kick you down to normal power. But I'm excited to play this anytime they do it with an expansion. Here's how unhinged it gets. You get all these little passive effects you attach to your gear. Some are just stats, but a lot of them are stuff like, 10% of the damage you deal to any enemy stays on them as a stack, and when they die, they explode and deal that damage to someone else. That's a normal one. One I got today was every 10 seconds, whenever you hit an enemy with any of your melee abilities, you will attack them 4 to 7 times.
It's a lot more than once.
So sometimes I just hit an enemy and they get hit 7 times and die. But it's just power grinding. That's all I have. That's all it is. So there's not so much to talk about. Dan, what the fuck are you doing?
What? I don't. We're all just hanging out with aggro.
And I picked up the Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door remake.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
I put some time into that. It running at 30 isn't that big a deal because it has a fixed camera. That's the thing that really makes 30 frames a second abysmal, is when you rotate the camera and have a head injury now.
I just like the feel of running at higher frame rates.
So do I, but it's more tolerable because of it has a fixed camera.
Now, Aggro, I'm going to need you to not say anything because I haven't tested how this will work for the 3 of us if you say something, okay? Okay. We're good.
Okay. I think they widened every window, so it's not like a problem with execution either. It feels easier to hit super guards even.
Huh.
That makes sense, because if it's going to have more input latency and be sloppier about it, then you would hope they made things broader.
Right.
They made this game in the style of the new Paper Marios visually, where it is more like a diorama and less like a storybook. I could nitpick about that, but I don't really think that's a big deal. What I do kind of think is a big deal is this is getting close to Paper Mario the 7th Gen Door, because everything looks like they're blasting it with a fucking floodlight. Like, it's just so brightly lit. Like, you fight Hooktail, the bright red dragon.
Uh-huh.
He's more salmon colored in this because there's so much fucking bloom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't like that a lot of the really bright, vibrant, cartoony colors from the original are just kind of washed out by this really bright lighting that's over everything.
That's how you know it's next gen.
That does sadly seem to be the intent. There's other changes, like apparently this is a thing in the new Paper Mario games. They use Animal Crossing gibberish when characters talk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was a big fan of that. And then there was a 5-minute conversation with it.
Yeah, that'll change your mind.
Which changes the paradigm a little bit. Especially since the opening of 1,000 Year Door is very hand-holdy and dialogue heavy.
And wordy, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I kind of wondered if they were going to rewrite any of that opening, but I guess not.
They didn't rewrite anything as far as I can tell. Like, the only changes that I think happened that I can see is they changed the slot machines to something less slot machiney because Europe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They added a new fast travel room. There's now a room in the sewers that once you get there the first time is not difficult to get there. You can get there as soon as you get to chapter 2.
Yeah.
The room, it sucks your map up and puts a pipe to each town. And then a pipe appears in the main square of Rogueport to take you down to this room instantly. So you no longer have to, like, it's not annoying to backtrack. So those later parts of the game where it's like, go to every single town. You have to find out where this Bob-omb fuck went. Lots of other little quality of life features, like you don't have to go into a menu to swap partners. You press it, you hold a trigger, and there's like a ring. Also, all the music got remixed and is very good.
Yeah, it does sound really, really good.
Each partner has a theme song now. So it's really weird to get Goombella and you're talking to her and they're playing this Amy Rose ass music.
That's exactly what I was imagining for her. I was like, she's gonna have like ba 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 ba.
They did it different. You know the normal 1,000-Year Door battle theme, like do 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 do. They did a different remix of it for each chapter.
Ooh,
oh, that's nice.
That is neat.
But if you don't like that, in the badge shop, you can buy a badge that costs 1 gold, 1 coin, and nothing to equip that reverts the music back.
Huh.
I was like, can you do that with the lighting? They're like,
no.
I'm like, oh. Well, damn. I haven't gotten that far, but apparently they added boss, like they did the Super Mario RPG thing where they added more content.
Huh.
Cool.
And I don't know how much of it they are one thing I'm very curious about, and nobody in chat, which I'm not looking at, so it doesn't matter, but don't spoil it for Dan and Bob if they are looking at it. I wonder, because there's that one room in the train chapter where you're going through like the abandoned building, and just one start of the game Goomba walks out for you to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And that was supposed to be the Shadow Sirens.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they restored that boss fight.
Yeah, I'm curious. Also, don't worry, Chad. I'm not going to play the 1,000-Year Door remake. My backlog is insane.
Yeah, right.
Though, to be fair, it sure would have been neat if I had a Switch game I wanted to play that I could play on the gym at a fucking treadmill. I've already been talking about stupid, like on the drive back with Tosh. I'm like, so I get a power bank, okay? And I put it at the bottom of the backpack. I put the PS5 on top, and I get a PlayStation Portal, and hopefully it can directly wirelessly connect, so that way I can play this fucking massive backlog while I get on a gym, because Nintendo chose the 1 year I want to go to a gym to not release anything worth playing.
It's okay, Dan. Like we talked about before, you just gotta buy a second copy of
Unicorn Overlord. Imagine powerful enough hardware that the Switch can do VR. No, I'm going to imagine me bringing a MetaQuest 3 to the gym and them looking at each other, panicked. This guy's going to die.
yeah. And they're right.
No, it's fine. It's got really good pass-through. That means there's no way I'll just eat shit.
You better get on the elliptical, not the treadmill. That's all I'm saying.
Sorry, treadmill. Treadmill all the way.
I don't have a huge more to say about it, since it's the 1,000-Year Door again with all these little upgrades. You can see the picture of Bowser with a mustache that's in one of his cutscenes really clearly now because it's in HD. And it's unclear if that's supposed to be his ancestor or he just grew like a mustache for a couple weeks like Vegeta.
It was such a good look on Vegeta, right, Bob?
No.
I also learned, thanks to Twitter, that Goombella's tattle in Japanese is monoshiri, which means know-it-all. But because so many of her NPC explanations are mean, Japanese fans call it nonoshiri, which means to make fun of someone.
Oh my god, that's really good. Did anyone feel like the entire room filled with a giant light just then? It felt like
they look like such big, strong hands.
This is like that Simpsons bit where it's like, notice anything different, Lenny? It's like, oh, you're 30 feet tall and made made solid gold.
Yeah, what is Aggro going to be made of gold?
I don't know.
Oh man. Okay.
But yeah, that's all. I didn't get. I'm only in chapter 2 of the Paper Mario remake, the 1,000-Year Door remake, because I've been becoming strong in Mists of Pandaria.
Jesus. There was that really good edit on Twitter where it was like, "Give me the credit card number, Goomba." That was pretty good. Anyways, one moment. I'm gonna mute for 1 second. So this is the part where we talk about what we have coming up. Chris, you said nothing because the summer of gaming.
Yes.
Bob and I on Sunday we're playing Lair.
Layer. All right.
You know Lair? You remember Lair? Are we doing the motion control? No.
Yeah,
How hard is it to turn on and off?
I think we can turn it off and on in game now.
So we'll try to survive. What do you mean you don't know? Everyone knows Lair. That was a hypothetical. That was rhetorical. Of course you know Lair, the dragon game for PS3.
The biggest game Sony ever made.
Everybody loves Factor 5, and everyone who loves Factor 5 says that's their favorite game from Factor 5. It's like a power generator just kicked on and like a loud buzzing. And anyways, yeah, that's gonna be Sunday. I'm taking tomorrow off because it's my birthday. Anyway, I think that's. Tiff in chat says Drakengard 3/Lair flop swap. Oh my god! There are so few frames. We're streaming them both simultaneously, and it still cannot add up to 20 per second.
Jesus, help.
Anyways, that's going to do it for the beginning of Big Think, which means we're getting to PodLords.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck.
Hi, so huge!
Are they in the room right now?
PodLords? That's what they look like to you? Yes, that's right. No signal. Or as I like to call it, the PodLords. PodLords such as BN12, Red Blaze 27, Suzushiro, Rado, 101 Shades of Wonderful Remastered, WTF, Spider-Man. Terrible wrestling gimmicks. Max Moon is an interglacial? Question mark? Grappler and the only wrestler ever billed from space in WWE.
I'm sorry, that's a fucking amazing wrestling gimmick, and we need more wrestling gimmicks like that.
He looks like knockoff Mega Man.
He does.
Honestly, that should have been the Ultimate Warriors gimmick.
Yeah, okay.
How I feel with the Paper Mario 1000 Year Door remake, Shin Megami Tensei V Vengeance, and the new Final Fantasy XIV expansion all within 1 month. I am full of content. Yum.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, the
Megami
SMT.
Tensei Vengeance is in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's close. It's really close.
Oh, hey. Wait, why would I buy that on the Switch? I wanted it to escape the Switch.
Right, exactly.
Then I could play it at the gym.
I'm sorry.
I just need my power bank and my monitor. You know, they actually do make things where you can take an iPad and do an HDMI capture nowadays, right?
Okay, yeah.
So there you go. I just need to buy an iPad Pro. Chat, help me balance my budget here. I bought a $1,000 iPad Pro, a capture card, a giant power bank.
Jesus.
And then I quit the gym, so none of that made sense. DFW 3K. Muckbun. Me on my way to buy Dan a treadmill. Kristen. Juice of Frost. This is Yoha. She drinks and does too much paperwork and bites.
Dope.
That's amazing. No notes. This is stiff competition for Zenless Zone Zero. I hope they have some under-medicated people in that too.
I think they'll have that covered.
Okay.
What game is this, though?
I'm trying to remember. Is it Nikkei?
I was like, is it
Yeah,
Nikkei?
I think it's Nikkei. No, I think that's a shoe brand. Cooper Tank. Multiversus. Implying Multiversus is Goku any level.
I guess it's supposed to be because it's underwater, but I prefer to interpret it as it drowning.
Right? I feel like the more appropriate character for this underwater is Luffy.
Because Goku can swim.
Yeah, Goku can get out of this situation.
I mean, there's that. It should have just been the part where Frieza is drowning him.
Indigo Sykes. Truffle and the girls say, happy birthday, Bob.
Thank you.
VR treadmill. See, Bob, people want the VR treadmill.
Oh my god.
They're all in support of the VR
It took
treadmill.
me a while to put together what that was.
That's, that's fair.
I like how they kind of gave up halfway through.
Yeah, that was really good. It's really good. Shinji16 would like to remind you that you matter, you are valid, and you deserve to be happy. Pedro, praticamente il meglio di Santa Fe!
It looked like he's having a good time.
Microsoft continuing with day one Game Pass.
Please board this sinking ship.
The Super Mim. How far apart were those two Mario RPG remakes made peaker with quality of life and new superhero bosses released?
Like 7 months?
I'm trying to figure out why Venom's on screen.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe that's an image from last week.
It looks like it's like Venom possessing Godzilla.
He's just dry. This is
Or
dry
I guess
Venom.
the lizard.
6 months. That's Riot.
Oh, that's why they look like shit. Okay.
Saraline. Timothy Pfister caught up on all the localized Trails games over the last 5 months. Now he's ready to play the new one.
Congratulations.
Wow. Are you okay?
No.
Yeah, probably not.
Bearded Joe. Krungle Spum. Pleochrome. The dark future of Chris playing the Silent Hill. Wait a minute. This is not. This is this is something else.
Yeah, no, that's
What
I
is this
don't-
supposed to fucking be? What is this creature I'm looking at?
I don't. So, where did that image go? Oh,
There
it
it
double.
is.
Oh, there we
so
go.
my keyboard double registered the tab because
my God.
no piece of electronics in my life can work correctly.
No, I guess not.
Man, I should play the that game about kissing the alligator.
Yeah, probably. Maybe you can get a co-host for a stream of it. Get Alligator to come onto your.
No, I don't think that the clever zone really gels well with streaming a visual novel.
You all saw this.
God
I am
damn it.
I am reading that.
I don't recognize what anime this is.
We're
That's
just
Bacano.
we're just Daniel, the Demon Slayer. He slays demons, so you don't have to.
Amazing
God.
part
Oh my
of that
God.
joke. Amazing part of that joke that someone had to point out to me. The Daniel the Demon Slayer video is 10 seconds of explanation and 8.5 minutes of a Dollar Shave Club read.
Yes.
Yep. By the time you read this, I may or may not already be downing some drinks in New Orleans for vacation. Cheers.
Hot damn.
Happy for you.
Right? Get some beignets.
Beignets is like mayonnaise made from beignets.
No!
Fuck.
No, why would you do that?
Feed me billionaires. $5.
Holy shit.
I mean, if you're asking, I guess we got it.
I'm hungry. Kuchuline. Jesus, it's funny. He's like,
He's so smug.
he's so smug and so small, but he still has abs drawn on his.
Yeah, of course. That's how he is.
Look, I'm
my
not going to
God.
pretend that I can pronounce that name accurately, but I feel like maybe that wasn't right.
You think? What? What would give you that idea? I
Pretty
think
sure
I
he's
said
one of the
it
characters that
beautifully.
literally everyone's like, just call him Lancer. We're not
Yep.
going to say the name.
You are not on the hook for pronouncing Gaelic.
Thank you, Dan. I ended up buying my dad the LG B3. Oh, welcome to the LG B3 community. Not the fanciest OLED, but he mostly just watches Law and Order. Why is he so upset?
I don't know. Was that the plan?
Because his dad immediately turned on smoothing. Like, TVs don't come with that by default. Your parents have to be turning it on deliberately.
The boy.
Aww.
Look at him, he's adorable.
Just a little guy.
He's adorable. And Mudkip, but with a gun.
Whoa. I didn't consider this.
Don't spoil Bob's next game idea.
Yeah, come on now. Thank you very much to our PodLords.
Like PodLords.
Thank you, PodLords.
Thank you,
Wait a minute. What?
And if you'd like to become a PodLord, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcasts. For as little as $5 a month, you get many benefits, such as early access to Chugging, Bleach, and Pokemon Go to the Movies, our 2 monthly anime review podcasts, one of which is about to enter fucking sub-light speed travel. You get other benefits, such as extended versions of gamer premonitions and armchair devs sometimes when we have additional ideas that didn't go in the show. You also get an entire movie called Isolation 119. This is a real feature-length film about a man going to a trip to Thailand so that he can investigate his brother's mysterious injuring, but actually so he can get a tax write-off on his trip to Thailand by taking a camcorder around the apartment that he's renting for his vacation in Thailand. You also get a patron-funded show one a month where you either have to watch a good thing like John Wick 3, and that is a private show that only patrons get, but you get one, or alternatively, a bad thing that is a public show, such as Nintendo Quest or the Golden Compass, where you get patrons get a commentary track, but everybody gets the show. So you're funding public content as well. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast. And if you don't have any money, it always helps us immensely to tell your friends, rate us on Thursdays, tell people about Big Think Dimension, spam links to our content on Reddit on burner accounts, because what else are you gonna do on Reddit? Talk.
Yeah.
Or leave a comment and subscribe on YouTube right now. That's patreon.com/gbpodcasts.
Yo, we got news.
My God.
So Sony submitted a PSVR2 PC adapter for certification in South Korea. This follows up their earlier statement this year that they are going to make the PSVR2 work on PC. This adapter makes sense
Huzzah.
because not only, like, if you think about it, PCs do have USB Type-C connections. However, the controllers are still wireless. And maybe the specific way they work would be a pain in the ass to get working on a normal Bluetooth dongle, just because of the way they originally engineered it. So, this is good. This is good. And for anyone who's interested in PSVR 2, we are during the Days of Play event where Sony will remotely price anything near what it should be priced. You are lucky you. The PSVR 2 is on sale for so much less. It's only $450. That's it.
all.
That's it. It's just
That's
so
insane.
cheap. And the bundle with Horizon Call of the Mountains $500. I would
Come on.
It was fine, but it didn't even make my game of the year.
Yeah, I feel
list
like
or
that should
even
be
my
a free
runner-up, so.
pack-in. Like, it's
Like
It's
if it was like smaller, then yeah.
Like-
it is pretty long. Like the main story, it's like 6 hours
yeah,
or
it's
something.
long.
So you would think you would just pare that down to 2. It's neat. Don't get me wrong, it's neat. And if they make a PS5 Pro like update to make it look better, but I wouldn't. Get
Isn't the PS4 only $50 off? So even on sale, it's not the price.
You mean the PS5?
Yeah, the PS5.
Yeah, no, it's $450.
Yeah,
After
it's
3.5 years of
only
being out, it only went down $50 for these 2 weeks.
Yeah, if anything, like reined in my expectations for this event today, it was the Days of Play sale and how suck it is.
Yeah, and then they ended the fucking thing with it, like, look at our great deals. And I'm like, none of these things you have on sale have been meeting their sales goals. Have you considered perhaps to stop?
Have you considered reducing a price? Did you know that's one of the easiest things you can do to get sales?
The only hope I still have is the change out just finally happened this month for the CEOs. They're saving some big nice thing like that for fall.
Right, when they announced the PS5 Pro.
They better fucking price drop it when they announce the PS5 Pro.
But yeah,
It would be insane
ridiculous.
not to.
Yeah, I saw someone posting ads from the PS2 era of like how often that was getting price drops.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, within like 3 years, that thing was $200 or $150.
No, that wasn't. Yeah, it was 150 within 3 years.
Yeah.
That thing dropped to 200 when the GameCube and Xbox were coming out to fuck with them,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly.
And then I saw Sean Layden on Twitter responding to that. I was like, oh man, look at that old Sony. Like something to the effect of only, or the competitive price matching something that only they could do. At Sony, it's like, man,
Yeah.
Sony sure isn't the same at all now.
Crazy.
3 years after the PS2 came out, it was $120 cheaper.
Yeah.
4 years, it was $150 cheaper.
What a concept. Things getting cheaper as time goes on.
That
So keep in mind, we are roughly as far. So the PS2 launched in October 2000 at $299.
Yeah.
In May of 2004, so where we are right now relatively, it had halved in price.
Yeah. Like a device should.
Like I don't even think like I want them to make it 250, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it should
How
be
the fuck are
$300
we
or something
still
by now.
charging $500 fucking dollars?
Yeah, no, it should have any price drops.
Like
Even
here's
the PS4 had a price drop by now. Several, I
Oh
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ludicrous. They literally want to be the dominant company. They want to sell the hardware to people to get them on board for the platform, but they also want to sell that with a margin. They don't want to give you anything.
Yeah.
They
And
want to charge
they
you
want
rent $80 a year because, as you pointed out, Bob, on Twitter, Days of Play doesn't even reduce the price of PlayStation Plus.
No, not normal. Only the special ones. Only the ones where you pay more than $80 a year already.
So they want to charge you rent and not lower the price of the console.
And the games are $70. They can't take it. They can't take a hit anywhere. They're just dying. And yet they posted this is the most profitable PlayStation's ever been. It's like,
Yeah.
sure is.
Yeah,
At
it sure-
what
I mean,
cost?
It
I mean,
sure
this
is.
I guess I can't blame them because the PS5 is officially tracking faster than the PS4. It's like 8% faster than the PS4 in terms of sales. So I guess I can't blame them if it's selling at the exact same fucking rate, faster than the last one. Why drop the price?
Well, half their monthly active users are still on PS4, so it would be a good idea to get them over to the PS5 before they start having crazy thoughts like going to the Switch 2 or PC.
Yeah.
That'd be a pretty smart idea.
Yeah, but no executive can think further than 2 weeks ahead anymore.
Yep.
Like they've lost that ability. It's been bred out of them, like how we ruin breeds of dog. By the way, the Xbox One is tracking, I think, at 23% lower. The Xbox Series is tracking at, I think, 23% lower than the Xbox One, which is pretty fucking bad because the first 2 or 3 years of the series, it was selling significantly faster than the Xbox One.
Yeah. COVID.
So now it is dead.
So wait. Yeah, I was going to say, like, So what you're telling me is this tracking 23% under the Xbox One for both series consoles, despite the fact it went through COVID, the best opportunity for any video game manufacturer ever.
Correct.
Yeah, then that means last year it just stopped selling at all, which I actually heard from friends who work at places like Walmart. They're like, yeah, we had them stocked all year. No one's buying any. They don't move.
They don't want
They
you
were
to
on
buy it.
fire sale all year last year. Like the Series S was going under $100 at places. New.
That's crazy. Here's a weird hypothetical. What if the Quest ecosystem is more healthy than the Xbox One? Like, what if as a game dev you have a better time economically? The business of it makes more sense to make a Quest exclusive game than an Xbox game.
That doesn't even sound that unlikely just because of how bad Xbox is these days. When it was training everyone to literally never buy a game. Please,
Yeah,
God,
no,
never buy one.
Yeah, I've actually heard people tell stories about how like they know casuals who just bought an Xbox because that was their preference in the past, and now they won't buy games at all. Mm-hmm. They'll be like, "Oh, I was interested in that game. I'll wait for it to come to Game Pass." When they tell them like, "Oh, it may not come to Game Pass," they're like, "Oh well, I guess won't play it." And I'm like,
Yep.
"Oh, you mean the thing we kept saying? The thing we were warning you? You literally trained them to not buy games. That's real. Oh, shock! It's almost like I understand a human and you seem to not." Hey, Bob.
Hey, what's up?
Start with the Redfall news.
Oh my God. Okay. Redfall's final update is coming out.
Yippee.
It came out rather like
I'm
yesterday.
glad the developers could move. Oh.
No, into the shed out back.
Oh, no.
But yeah, it adds the offline mode, which they promised at launch, I believe.
They did.
That adds the single player pausing, and they revamped a bunch of other systems in the game. Like now there's a
Vamped.
yes, they worded it like that very specifically. But there's a whole system for doing stuff for the each zone will build your community rank, and that'll unlock new stuff in the game. It's like this is a whole system that just wasn't there before. Like that seems like it was important. Maybe should have made it to the game.
I think it's time for Dan and Bob to give Redfall a chance.
I knew for the moment that crawled out of your fucking mouth. That's what Chris was going to say. God damn it.
They also added a new version of Vampire Nests. They've got the special name. They have boss vampires in them, and they get a bit better equipment.
Oh, is it better than the legendary steak launcher that killed everything in the game in one shot?
Probably not.
But maybe they rebalanced that so it doesn't do it anymore.
Oh, that just makes the game worse.
I know, right?
No, it's true. We could do the rest of your news in normal order, Bob.
Sure. Let's start from the top here. Blade Chimera, the game from Ladybug, the guys who made like the Toho Luna Nights, that Record Lodos War game.
Pharaoh Adventure
Yeah,
Rebirth.
that's always the one I associate with the most because it's their own IP and has like their own tastes the most in it.
Yeah, but Luna Nights is still the best game.
That's true.
But yeah, their new game, it got delayed till August. I guess at some point it was announced to be earlier, but now we actually know it's going to be in August. It's going to be on the Switch and the PC. And they showed a new trailer. It looked really cool.
Good year for games.
Yeah.
Oh man, this looks so cool.
Yeah.
And what was the name of that again?
Blade Chimera.
Cool.
It's like what if Symphony of the Night was like a cyberpunk ninja game?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah, that pretty well sums it up.
You can play as a dog. There's
I
this
think-
little Shiba. I guess that's an ability.
Yeah, I think you
Will
turn
you
into a
use the
dog
Shiba-
because
Alucard.
and you have the summon sword always hanging out with you.
Oh, that's pretty
And
good.
I think the summon sword turns into a lady and yells at people.
Ooh.
I like all those things.
But this last week we had Dragon Quest Day. So they talked about the Dragon Quest 3D or Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. It's now announced officially for platforms such as Switch, PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. The teaser that
What's up, Chris?
Oh, Xbox.
yeah, it's on there. But yeah, the teaser they showed actually does not mention Dragon Quest 3 at all. So it might be like the first 3 games.
That would make sense because unless you made a different game and called it Dragon Quest 3, I feel like even all prettied up in HD 2D, that's a hard sell for anybody outside Japan. Because that's such an old Famicom game. And it has all the exact same shit in it as 1 and 2. So, like, if you're making 3 already, you have the shit for 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel like that would have a much better penetration over here in the West. So maybe.
That in the marketing says the legacy begins, so it makes sense for it to be
Like,
1
right,
and
yeah,
2.
The literally beginning of the legacy.
Well, chronologically, 3 happens first.
But yeah, no date. Nothing like that.
Hey, they announced it for the PS5. I can wait. That's all I wanted. All I wanted is a non-exclusive.
I guess I have a sneaking suspicion the date will be somewhere around April of next year.
I wonder why that would be.
Who knows? Maybe that announcement Sony or Square Enix made about being more multi-platform was them going, "Hey, Nintendo, we're not waiting a whole year. We are going multi-platform with this. Here's the penalty we have to pay." It's possible because this was not announced as being multi-plat before this.
Was it? It wasn't?
Huh.
Yeah, they announced the project. I can't remember if they announced any platforms, though.
Yeah.
Because that's the news here. The news here is that is on everything.
Right.
Yeah, they never announced platforms. They were coy. Yeah. So maybe they just went, oh, another year. Because reminder, for people who didn't hear the rumors in advance, so these weren't like, oh, speculation based on bullshit's McGee. No, this is devs directly talking about it. The Switch 2 was supposed to be out Q1 this year, right? Mm-hmm. And then it slipped because the software wasn't ready. So maybe.
Makes sense. And they said this was they said it'll be out by March 2025, so the end of the fiscal year. So I imagine it might even be this year.
Maybe. Get it out.
Like I guess we'll know for sure because I'm willing to bet if there's a Nintendo Direct in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, they probably still show up at that.
Yeah,
which they're definitely a Nintendo Direct.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of small games will show up there because Sony has decided those no longer have a place at the State of Play.
They need to spend 18 minutes on Concord. We don't have room
We don't want to show your 2-bit little shit game. We're too busy in showing important games like Dynasty War. I didn't know what the end of the sentence was until I looked to the cue card on the right. What the fuck do you mean?
If your game isn't gigantic and set in China, we don't even want it.
That really was the theme today, right? Yeah. that was pretty good. That it was like, here's a remake of Until Dawn, some service games, some other service game, and then 1 billion Asian games from countries that you're not used to being headliners in the fucking game development field. And I'm like, sick. This is awesome. What is the state of play without the China Hero Project and them working with Korean studios to get?
Yeah.
I don't know what today's state of play was.
It's the Concord Direct is what it was if they didn't have that.
The Concord Direct.
Which would be insane. Just so we're clear, they should not have released a Concord Direct, but they kind of did.
At least the game's pretty. That's all I got with Concord. But we're going to talk about that later. Let's move on, Bob.
Bleach Brave Souls. It's actually coming to Switch and Xbox, finally. Not just on mobile and PlayStation. You can get it everywhere.
Please add Jinkaria somehow.
It's coming out this summer. Maybe he'll come with summer update.
If fucking
please.
Is third seat Kibune in Bleach Brave
There's
Souls?
no way.
I bet he is.
The absolute disrespect.
Chat is saying he is. Yes, chat is saying he is there.
Then you better fucking put Jinkaria in, you bastard.
Yeah, at that rate, I want Yoshi in. Come on. She's better than Kibune. God.
I hate Kibune and his stupid fucking sweater that he wears under his hakama. So he has that looks like he has fucking fur.
Yeah,
fur. I hate him so bad.
This next bit of news is actually really fascinating. What's up, Chris?
There's a fucking 6 Kibune in Brave Souls?
What?
A 6-star, the highest level.
We have to move on.
Yeah, we
I cannot.
can't- no.
I cannot talk about third seat Kibune in the middle of gaming news.
There's some rumors going around
Yes.
about Resident Evil.
Yes.
The Resident Evil 9 has been pushed back to 2025/2026, which is interesting because like today we had a box art leak for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know if that was 100% real. I didn't look into it too deeply.
Okay.
But that showed, I believe, Leon in darkness.
Leon in darkness.
Yeah, and then some other silhouette behind him.
Leon, why? The video game.
And then they are currently working on a Zero and a Code Veronica remakes. And one of them is, I think it's Zero being redone by M2.
Oh, really?
And then Code Veronica being done by like an in-house Capcom team.
I'm just shocked that they like literally looked like they did exactly what we said they needed to be doing instead of remaking one again. Remake Zero and Code Veronica because those need it and no one played those. Mm-hmm. And somehow that's apparently what's happening.
Yeah. So I wonder if those
sure.
will come out before 9 now, because 9 getting
I'm
delayed.
willing to bet one of them will.
Right, probably one. I don't know about those. Because 2025 to 2026 is still pretty far out there. Like if it actually does launch early 2026, that'll be the longest we had without Resident Evil in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was 2 years between
7 and 2.
3 remake or 8 and 4, because 8 was 2022, or was it 2023? No, 8 was 2021, and then 4 was 2023.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's 2 years.
So it'll be. Oh yeah, so it will be more than 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't the rumor it was supposed to be January 2025? Like it was supposed to be real early 2025 initially. So
Yeah,
this
the
is
first
getting like pushed back to the end of the
to
year.
the end of the year. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if any of these remakes are going to race out ahead of it.
Yeah.
I think the one I don't think Code Veronica can. That sounds like because being made by the main team.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the M2 one, maybe Zero.
I'm really excited because as I talked about, I didn't even talk about in what we've been playing. I played that Super Mario 64 co-op mod with Gamma Chris, and that was a delightful fucking stream. Aggro, that mod goes up to 16 players simultaneously running around that game collecting stars all at the same fucking time.
Good God.
I need to see it. Because, of course, it's chaos because one person gets the star unlocked and then the next person just goes, oh, look at me. I earned a star. God, I worked so hard for this. And it keeps track of how, like, each person's amount of stars.
Oh.
So I kind of want to do the Super Mario 64 one Tony Star playthrough battle royale where it's like, which streamer can get the most stars? Anyways, yeah, every streamer I've ever talked to that has played Resident Evil 0 is like, don't.
Yeah. No, everything here, the mechanics of Resident Evil 0 are just really bad. And there's nothing that can save that.
Bob and I have streamed so many Resident Evil games. There's so few left, in mainline especially. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, they keep telling us, no, it's so bad. Don't do it.
But yeah, I'm super excited for the Code Veronica one because I think Claire's a neat character. I'd like to see more of that. I'd like to finally figure out what's up with the Ashford
family name.
After all these years. I was watching that stupid video over and over again.
Oh yeah, somebody deeply horrified me in the comment section for Crow Country. You know, we were just talking about Legendary Froggy. Mm-hmm. Did you put together that the Crow Country devs are super Flash Bros from back in the day? The Newgrounds?
What?
That's what the SFB and their Twitter handle stand for.
I saw people saying that. I was like, they can't be the same ones though, right?
So anyway, that blew my fucking mind. I've been quoting a fucking video of theirs the whole time. What is it? This game's winner is Samanosuke.
Oh my god. Yeah, those guys. Jesus.
So,
I guess that pass makes sense because back in the day, you do Flash to make your video game. and they just
man,
do that.
I forgot that they were the decline of video gaming people. I thought they were just the super Flash Bros, like the Smash clone.
No.
Yeah.
No, they did the decline of video games.
Oh god,
Yeah.
man, Decline of video games cursed content when?
That is a real good question,
It is.
Chris. I've been told that I brought 2 cursed of things this year, and yet you just suggested something with Ego Raptor in it.
I bet that's the best thing with Ego Raptor we'll ever watch on cursed content. Me seeing the future when we watch the YouTube Red show he was in.
That show is so bad. Ugh. Anyway.
Yeah, we got more rumors.
Yeah, apparently Resident Evil 1 Remake isn't happening currently.
Yeah, that's also just not being worked on, which
I assume
fine.
that'll be like the last one. Like the very last one of these, the remakes they do, like before they're out entirely.
Yeah, that would make sense, because they're never going to remake 6.
I know.
Yeah, I can see them remaking 5 and
Yeah.
like pretty easily. And I don't know why people like they'll never remake 5 because it's innately racist. I'm like, no, it's racist because they have you go to a village and have people in grass skirts throw spears at you.
That's like one level. It's not even bosses that they need to
Having a
re-
Resident Evil game set in Africa is not innately racist. In fact, the story
Right.
of that game is kind of the opposite because it's about Umbrella going, nobody gives a shit about Africa. We can do whatever we want here.
Yep. But then that happens in the middle of it, you go, what?
They go, ooh, maybe not.
Jill's like, I can join you for this, Chris. And he's like, no, I'm going to need to get someone who might.
I dyed my hair blonde just for it.
He's like, oh no, just gonna have to find new blood on this one. Maybe someone who knows the area. I don't know anything but you. That is a look I don't want to have over here.
Sheva, I need you to fuck my sister.
Wait a minute. Interesting.
I think he lost the plot here, Chris.
He blanked out for a second and then he did his wake up DP.
Put on this Gyaru makeup.
Hey Bob, what else do we have to talk about?
It's got another rumor. The 100 Star Studio, the studio founded by founders of Rocksteady, Septon Hill and Jamie Walker.
Okay.
They founded this new studio. They are allegedly, with the backing of Microsoft, working on a new AAA standard single-player action-adventure game built on Unreal Engine 5.
But wait a minute. Microsoft doesn't pay money for people to make games.
Right, unless you own
why
the studio.
buy milk?
and, like,
Buy the cow.
right.
And then don't feed the cow because
Never.
that's
Yeah.
money.
My immediate thought is one, good that they don't work for you, so you can't ruin them by forcing them to use contractors. Maybe this will actually come out. My second thought, oh, it's a new studio making a big AAA thing. No, it's not coming out. And third, even if it does come out, it won't make any money because Xbox is obligated to put it day one on Game Pass.
Yeah, and then I have this other layer of like, is this story real? The world in which they actually pay a studio that they don't own.
It's typical for them.
There's tiny precedent because they are paying Avalanche to make that Contraband game that hasn't shown up for several years.
That's true. It's like the only one. I kind of forgot they didn't just buy them.
Meanwhile, I had to win. Oh, cool, great! They're making AAA Unreal Engine 5, huh? I guess.
I have zero faith in any of these new studio by AAA game developers going immediately into AAA game. I feel like the route for all these is we're ready to start real production. We need to hire 2,000 people, and then the person investing in them goes, "No,
Nah.
Yeah, I think it's kind of
that
crazy.
already happened. That already happened with one of them, didn't it?
I think so. I think one of
That
the
happened with the
Amy
one
ones
that
happened.
happened with the Call of Duty one that Sony got involved with Deviation.
But yeah, I feel like we have this story come up for years now, and none of these games have come out.
An Xbox Game Studios game didn't come out.
No, well, none of these games
Concord won't have that problem because this week in Concord, guess who's gay? See, it's an Overwatch game for anyone who doesn't know what the fuck's up with Concord. I know we haven't gotten to that segment of the news yet. Anyway.
Yeah, Concord, I guess, would be the first one of these, like, new studio makes AAA game.
And it exists.
In releases.
Yeah.
We got a date for Zenless Zone Zero. It's actually really close. It's July 4th for PS5, PC, Android, and iOS.
Yeah, that's really surprising because they haven't simultaneously launched any of these before, have they?
They might have with Genshin, and they just didn't with Honkai. Because I remember...
No, Genshin was out on phones first.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then maybe the Genshin PS5 PC launch was the same or something like that. I just remember they didn't really get out of sync with the character releases like they did with immediately with Honkai.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they did that.
Genshin came out on everything at the same time.
Okay.
Really?
That's what I thought. And it was just really weird they
phones
screwed
earlier.
that up with the last
No, you
one.
might be thinking of Honkai Third Impact.
No, I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's just
I thought Genshin followed the same route as Honkai Star Rail, where it's like phones first and then. Then again, I didn't really give it the time of day until the PS5 came out because it could run it well.
right. But yeah,
That's exciting.
right.
I'm still very fascinated by like what is the structure of that game?
I know, because all the trailers they keep putting out, just like, here's a little bit of combat. And I'm like, I don't really know what the levels are.
Check out
anything,
our
right?
cool characters. Here's this combo mad video. Isn't that great? And we're like, what's the fucking game?
Right, we got a teaser trailer and then nothing. Oh, by the way, it's out.
You want to like... Is this Bloody Palace the mobile game?
Right? I don't know.
What am I doing?
Here's the cool trailer. It shows off how quirky this guy is. Okay, that's
Cool.
That's neat, I guess.
Great.
Oh, he's a Wolfman.
Okay.
Everybody likes Wolfman.
Yeah.
Okay. The game's
Cool.
out in a week.
Cool. I'm so excited to be Wolfman.
You can actually pre-order it for $10, but the game will be free to play when it comes out. So I don't know. It has this big set of stuff you get when you pre-order it.
So you're buying like a loot package.
Yeah, you're buying the deluxe version pretty much.
Even free games have a $10 upgrade to the deluxe version in 2024.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Sony took down that insane Neil Druckmann interview from last week because apparently it was all fake.
Okay. So the important thing, apparently, is that this was Sony interviewing its own staff.
Yes.
So it is a Sony-hired interviewer talking to Neil Druckmann, presumably someone from the PlayStation blog.
Presumably.
What the fuck happened here?
If like Neil Druckmann himself posted the question in the review in his answer, neither of which are the same as what was published at all.
That was the part where my
is-
eyes started crossing because he
this is
posts
such
this
a-
thing and then like that's not remotely this isn't. They changed your words. They wrote different words.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they gave you a dick sucking interview. You didn't look at the dicks. They didn't let you see the dick sucking interview before it went live, even though you work for them. How can Sony is so washed they can't even dick suck their own creatives right?
Yeah.
This should be a humiliating like turkey around the neck of Sony's PR.
Mm-hmm.
Like you
Fucking
shouldn't have to do patch notes on a edited interview that nobody was expecting, that came out of nowhere, that's only purpose was to make someone who works for you look good.
Right. Yeah. I don't. This is insane.
Yeah.
This has never happened before.
Right. Like I don't know how this happened. Interesting thing in the real interview that didn't get published is he says that the next game from them is something really new and different for them. Like maybe that was giving too much away about the game, and they're like, we have to rewrite the whole thing.
Now, I'm not trying to like stir my fucking conspiracy thing here. But the only way my brain can make any of this happening make sense is that motherfucker started getting roasted on Twitter and then said, that's not what I said at all, and just wrote some shit. And since he's high enough at Naughty Dog, the PlayStation blog has to go, I guess we did the interview wrong. You're right, Neil.
That would be the most sane solution, right?
Yes,
Right.
That's the most realistic outcome, I feel like.
Explicable real life situation that leads here.
Right.
Because
Otherwise,
everything else is insane.
right. The other thing is just Sony cannot PR, which we know. Like
But it's never been this bad.
It's never been this bad, but it just seems to be getting worse every single year. So
Right, because
new
they
low.
don't have to compete. Xbox.
God, we really like. It's becoming more and more apparent. Nintendo needs to kick their teeth in.
Oh yeah,
And
100%.
and then they will wake up because that's how this works.
I mean, they're literally making the most money they've ever made.
Yeah. So why do they need to change?
Right. It's yeah. Can someone just make me like instantly internet famous and rich so I can do a documented series of vlogging? Like, okay, I became a worse human today. Here's how. Like, so we can see in real time granular detail of a person becoming worse from fame and riches. Some celebrity has definitely done something you could easily describe as what I just said.
Probably, yeah.
And no, reality television shows don't count. They have writers. So those aren't real life.
We got a date and time now for the Ubisoft Forward. It's going to be June 10th.
January 10th. We'll see you guys next year.
June 10th
Cool.
at 2 p.m. our time.
Okay, great. That's convenient. That's Central Daylight Time for anyone who's curious.
And then 30 minutes prior to that, they're doing a pre-show that's all about live service games.
Shut the fuck up.
So even Ubisoft was like, get them out of our main show.
Yeah, one, good because of that, but two, which fucking ones are updates for Skull and Bones?
that one
Yeah,
that finally
Skull and
came out,
Bones,
Ex
that's
Deviant.
Defiant?
You'd think that as well.
You'd think that X Defiant would be in
I did it. We've been doing it for
would
so
be in
long.
the
I called
fucking
it
main
Ex Deviant.
show. It just came out. You'd think they'd want to buff it a little bit.
You wouldn't think that,
No.
but no, apparently not.
Bury it. But that's funny.
Someone in chat says Dan hits his first million and starts hearing the whispers. I hope they're the Hellblade 2 whispers. That way they're just like, good job,
job.
Chat. And I'm like, you know it, bitch.
Do you guys remember the game Sports Friends?
Yes, I do, because it includes Johann Sebastian's Joust.
Yes.
A really fun party game we did at a New Year's.
So that game's free on PSN and on Steam now. Just
Fantastic.
free for allegedly permanently. They said for as long as they could have it free, and that was seemingly no intention of ever changing that.
Cool.
And they're also working on a open source Linux version of Johann Sebastian's Joust.
Hey, did you know that if publishers weren't a thing in individuals' owned games, you would see more shit like this happen?
Yeah.
Did you know that? We need to demolish copyright law. Sounds like it's happening again. I thought they were talking about gaming news, but
Cut to Dan with his first million.
now in the defense of copyright law. And that's it for the Bob news.
That's it.
Chris, take it. Well, let me. Hey, Chris, take it away.
Okay, so Microsoft has confirmed Call of Duty Black Ops 6 will be on every tier of real Game Pass, not core. But console Game Pass, PC Game Pass, that one's insane. You're fucked, my man.
Right.
And and Ultimate.
Cool.
Not
Good.
much to say. We're gonna get a hard confirmation of when people quit playing these games.
Yeah, because
Like, the only way Microsoft is going to make money on this is if someone who does not already subscribe to Game Pass gives them money and keeps Game Pass for a whole year until the next one comes out. That's the only way this is profitable. If they quit in 6 months, they should have just sold it. If they quit less than that, it's even worse.
yeah, like they will play it for 2 months and then go back to Warzone.
And I guess Microsoft is hoping they'll forget. They'll forget to turn off Game Pass. They will forget to turn that off. They'll forget.
What sort of clown of a human being would do that?
Hopefully nobody, because I intend to start the turn it off campaign when this game comes out.
Like I've been trying to think of how, in what universe this decision made sense. Because, I mean, like, there have got to be enough executives who understand this concept by now. So either somebody pitched exactly what Chris said, oh, enough of them will forget, we'll actually make money. Or this is somebody deciding, okay, this ship is going down, but if I can get Game Pass numbers up high enough, I'll be able to escape to dry land. Like they'll let me in regular Microsoft.
I think it's as simple as if they had gone back on Call of Duty will be on Game Pass, which they stated repeatedly during this whole acquisition deal, it's 100% over. Like there will be no reason for anybody to defend them ever. And I think that things have gotten bad enough that they're like, we have to care about any kind of shit at all. We have to care about PR at all. And it might even be Phil Spencer, who, if you look at all the shit he said over the years, it's pretty clear that he's concerned with his legacy. So I imagine he doesn't want it worse than it already is. Because he went from good guy Phil to Hitler too, real quick.
I don't really at all condone self-harm, but when Microsoft is like, oh no, we have to put the most profitable game of all time that is such a fragile creature into this ecosystem where we will get no purchases, I'm literally handing them the gun and go, do it, pussy. Because they deserve to hear that after what they've done.
Call of Duty campaign I ever play for $3.
This is going to be a weird force feedback because we're all like, we played it for $3. I've been paying $70 for Call of Duty every year this gen until now.
Game code provided by Rice Krispies.
Some idiot.
Hot dog. Remember the hot dog?
Oh my god, the ones that had it printed on them.
The ones
Jesus.
that had it printed on them.
God.
My god.
This is rumored to be cross-gen. So still Xbox One, still PS4.
Was the last one a cross-gen?
I don't think
so, yeah.
Really?
Was Vanguard even cross-gen? One moment.
Yes,
I think they've all been cross-gen.
I thought they dropped that.
Nope. Modern Warfare 3 was cross-gen.
Man, I'm deeply fascinated how those looked last
Modern Warfare 2 was cross-gen.
I should have remembered because they did have the upgrade bundle where you paid more to get.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, Vanguard was. So Call of Duty's been cross-gen this whole time.
That's crazy.
So how much will this deflate the sales of Call of Duty overall?
If it wasn't cross-gen, I'd say probably not at all because nobody has a fucking Xbox Series. But if there's probably still a lot of people on Xbox One who play Call of Duty
and have been buying them until now,
right?
Yeah. So again, if they already sub to Game Pass, you get no additional money. Reminder: if they like Call of Duty, they already have Game Pass Core, and updating is not that much more. It's like $90 a year more to upgrade to Ultimate from
Core. Yeah.
So you have to keep it the entire year, at least 10 months to make the same amount of money. Assuming getting $70 through Game Pass isn't worse than getting $70 through a sale, which it might be.
It might very well be because they still have to do deals with people.
Yeah.
Like Game Pass itself isn't just pure profit for Microsoft. They do have to cut deals, and those are getting harder and harder to strike. Because they're making them harder and harder to strike because the economics simply do not exist.
Yeah.
Once again, Netflix solved this problem by having a shitload of content they started making themselves to put on their own service, so they didn't have to keep paying for Seinfeld and Friends and all those other series. Microsoft never did that step. If Microsoft did this plan correctly, we would have all tiers of games being made by them for the last 6 years. So that way they could stop making those deals and it would still getting shit.
So Saddam Hussein is confirmed to be in it. So is George H.W. Bush. Because he was in that live action trailer.
It's going to be a good year for Call of Duty.
Oh my god.
Acro, are you excited for the force feedback for this year's Call of Duty?
You can pay $1 and play it on PC.
Yeah, you can even. I guess I could also play it on PC because I don't have an Xbox in my house.
I can't wait for the cutscene where George W. Bush looks me straight in the face and tells me what my opinion on the invasion of Iraq was.
You're gonna be able to play him in zombies.
Yeah, there's a chance. Like it probably won't affect this one, but there's a chance that Call of Duty, because they're now owned by Microsoft, which is also attached at the hip to the US government. The Call of Duty just gets like way more jingoistic. Like it literally becomes a mouthpiece of the State Department. but like the racist State Department.
Is that a separate division?
It's the openly racist versus low-key racist State Department.
Okay. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So remember the story we just talked about in Bob's News about a big new AAA studio by industry veterans starting out on a AAA game? We have another one. Maverick Games, former Forza devs, signed a publishing deal for Amazon for a narrative-driven open world driving game. I wish I could have any faith this would come out.
That's not the story. The story here is Microsoft made the people who made Forza Horizon start making a Fable for several years, and now we have a new studio from people who used to be making Forza Horizon at the Forza Horizon studio. That is the story here. God damn it. What the fuck is wrong with Microsoft?
I don't know.
I just cannot express the magnitude of ineptitude on display.
Mapu's got his dartboard. It makes all the decisions for him, so he doesn't have to.
It's the fucking South Park joke about Family Guy with the dolphins or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just the porpoise like bumps the ball.
Yeah. Every time, man. Oh yeah, I didn't mention it. Like, if, for case people forgot, the people left Rocksteady because they were working on Suicide Squad for that long.
The thing they didn't want to.
The thing they didn't want to make.
Seemingly.
So both of the co-founders of that whole studio just left a year before that game even came out. No way that happened at the guys making Horizon, though.
No, because I'm sure the next Forza Horizon is right around the corner, and there's definitely nothing wrong with the studio that is being crushed trying to make a fucking game in a genre they've never made before.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get a release date for Fable. They'll show the new Forza Horizon. They won't miss a year of Forza. It'll be out in 2 months. And
I would love to be wrong on this, just to be clear.
Yeah.
I would love for like
so
December.
far we haven't been even a year. Like anytime we've not once.
I need the everything I say is right, but the me on the book cover sad. This sucks. But good for them for escaping, I guess, and making a game. And Amazon, I hope you don't fuck them over on that, and I hope it comes out. We need more driving games. We need more driving and racing games. The main reason it is so easy to say the PS2 era is so much better than current gaming is because every genre shriveled and just died up.
Yeah. No, it's rough.
Yeah. Just up and died, yeah.
There's a Just Cause movie in production at Universal with the director of Blue Beetle attached.
Fun fact, don't.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
That easy.
like, first of all, nobody has given a shit about Just Cause since Just Cause 2.
Yeah.
A game that came out, I think, 15 years ago.
Even then, I don't think anyone cared about, like, Just Cause the universe and the characters.
Yeah, the universe or the characters. Nobody gave a shit about that at all. They cared the fact that you could be falling at terminal velocity, grappling hook the ground, and pull yourself to the ground and be completely unharmed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. What's the appeal?
I don't know.
They cared about that you could pop a propane tank, and propane tanks, when you pop them in Just Cause 2, shoot into orbit, and then tether an enemy to that propane tank and just watch them go.
I think the most positive I could be about this is it's a movie made entirely on the foundation of stunt actors who had really fun ideas for a grappling hook.
However, it'll probably just
Not
end up
gonna be
being
that.
a ton of CG effects that look terrible
Yeah, probably.
and bad comedy writing.
Absolutely. Because that's all we make anymore. We need to go see Furiosa.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You know what we could do?
Box office up.
We still haven't seen Dune 2. You know what we could do? Buy a brighter OLED and then watch it here. Because Dune 2 is on Max.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah, apparently.
Well, Dune 2
They
has
have to
been out
stop
for
this.
months.
They have to stop this.
Wasn't that like...
That was February.
That was February,
They're
okay.
somewhere around there.
Yeah, so that was...
It was March 1st.
What?
Whatever.
Yeah, it was March 1st. So these streaming things are getting way too thick about, okay, it's been 6 weeks, put it on. Like, no, it needs to be 3 months.
But for anyone who hasn't followed the arc yet, try to watch every death stream we've done this year and see how many several games we've gone. I can't fucking see. That is literally an issue they fixed this year.
Oh, so we don't even get the good deal.
No. That's the part that really fucking sucks. Where it's like, oh, I could get it last year. Oh, the gaming mode got the much brighter thing this year.
Well, just suck it up for one more year.
That is the game plan. Being realistic, I just bought a Quest 3 and I have to buy a lawnmower because my fucking lawn is growing so goddamn fast. Fuck the rains here in Alabama.
Yeah, we've actually been getting rain pretty
There's so much
frequently.
fucking rain, and my grass is like delicious. And I'm like, no.
And then the locusts are like,
and the cicada go beep 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 beep. So yeah, I'll just not watch Dune 2 for the next year. That's the game plan. It's a very smart game plan.
I guess that's fine. There's probably a Doom 3 or something we have to wait for. I don't know.
Well, there's another. They're adapting in the next book.
Are they?
But yeah, I think they already confirmed it.
Oh, that's funny. Then hell yeah, fuck it. We'll wait.
It's okay. We can just watch Scroll instead.
If you wonder what being friends with Bob is like,
or we can watch Dune.
it's like that and an Aqua Teen reference shoved into a situation where it doesn't fit.
The David Lynch Dune. We need to watch that still.
That's true.
And that's not dark.
You don't think we'll need 4K HDR to see David Lynch Dune?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
So Metal Health, one of the Metal Hellsinger devs, the founder of the Metal Hellsinger studio, said Game Pass is a bad deal. It kills your sales.
Yeah.
He's brave to say it.
This thing we've all been saying for years now. Every publisher, even indie dev need to do it themselves before they believe other indie devs. It's really a thing. How do you
say, hey, here's a fun game?
Do you think people will finally accept it when they fire Phil Spencer next year because Call of Duty they have a giant $500 million hole where Call of Duty sales are supposed to be?
I hope.
Here's a fun game you can play. Go in the comments section of every Big Think and laugh at the people who are defending Game Pass and saying it's not bad for games, actually, because we have years of that comment by this point.
I am so glad that unlike Netflix and everything else that's sprung around, like everything is, all of movies and TV are streaming now, so they all have problems to come from that. Whereas gaming, only Microsoft shoved themselves down this hole. Only they are like, no, we're dead.
Well, the fun thing is, you know who else did it and it didn't matter? EA, because they only make like one game a year.
That's true.
Ubisoft also did it, but no one cares or noticed.
In a weird way, because I believe EA and Ubisoft was like, yeah, we don't put our games out on that day one.
Yeah, that's true. They did change that at some point, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, EA waits like 6 months.
Right, EA, you get the sports games day one because those are already just
scams.
Yeah, scams.
Casinos.
Yeah, they are literally digital casinos.
Ooh, this is a rumor. I think this has not been confirmed yet, but EA's might be decapitated soon. The rumor is that 2K is going to be making a FIFA game from now on.
Yeah, I did see that going around.
Oh, that's sick.
FIFA got the license, and then.
Oh, that's really good.
I mean, they also just make horrible scams, so
they do.
For them to
funny,
knock their
though.
teeth out.
Yeah, no, that's hilarious. And they're like, you know what? We don't need the FIFA license. We can make our own soccer game, and it'll be just fine. Someone scoops up the FIFA license.
Yeah, it would be fine until Take-Two gets the FIFA license, and then
Yep.
Because it doesn't matter who made the better game. That one says FIFA on it.
Right, that's all that matters. Do you think Winning 11 sold as well as FIFA?
Who?
Exactly.
Right. Once again,
does Konami even still make theirs?
They do, but they started calling it
Pro
e-soccer or
and then,
pro.
They started calling it e-football.
Yeah,
God,
there we go.
oh,
But I don't even know if they made it
stupid.
last. Like, I feel like they did that in 2020 and then stopped. But
I don't know.
They might just be updated.
Yeah, they haven't made. They have not made one. They did a 2021 update, but that's the last one, I think.
So about the Game Pass thing and how we're always right. Just going to underscore that again, that it's like we explained it through the business cases that is both Spotify and Netflix, and motherfuckers still for years we're like, no, it's great actually, and it's good because Phil said so.
Yeah. And it's benefiting me right now, so of course it's great.
Motherfuckers can't think 10 feet ahead.
No.
Yeah. Well, you know, when Xbox is dead as a platform, I'm sure that's still somehow beneficial to them because they will have transitioned to being PC guys or Steam Deck guys or something.
It feels like they are already making the switch. So
well,
yeah.
you were talking about on Twitter. What was the deal on Twitter? You were talking about like a bunch of people were like, actually, it's really sick.
I was talking about the Herman Hulst thing where he's like, hey, our service games are coming day and date on PC and PlayStation.
Yeah.
And our big single-player tentpole games are going to be PlayStation first and then PC later. And we're hoping that they work on it like ads for people to on PC to then be like, oh, I'll get a PlayStation for the next one because it'll be way sooner.
Right, yeah.
And everyone who against that and like, oh, this is so stupid. No PC gamer would ever do this.
And it's like, but look at what's happening to Xbox. They literally dissolved all value the brand had.
Yeah.
I think people are way like, first of all, the people who are not every PC gamer is a guy with a 4090 who is offended at the prospect of playing on something other than PC.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Which those people don't understand.
There's many different models of PC gamer, and it's like somebody plays Spider-Man 1 on PC. Okay, their PC isn't great. Do they upgrade their PC or buy PS5? Well, that PS5 has Spider-Man 2. When is the PC going to get Spider-Man 2? Who knows?
And what's the system requirements for it?
And what's the system requirements for it?
Yeah.
Not counting people. Again, Spider-Man is bigger than you think. There are absolutely people who have too much money who will go, yeah, I'll get a PS5
Let's go Spider-Man.
Yeah.
to play Spider-Man. Lots of people will do that. I know people who mocked the PS5 relentlessly for years and then bought one to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah, yeah.
That game's going to come to PC eventually. They already said it. Same for Final Fantasy 16. Same for all these fucking games that eventually get to PC.
Like, this isn't a radical idea. People buy consoles for two reasons. One, affordable for relative to the horsepower. And two, well, okay, three reasons. That, the ease of use, and to play the games that are exclusive to them. For me, the main thing here with this specific thing is I think this perfectly makes sense because you want the strong multiplayer community for your games as a service. Like Helldivers would not be the same if it didn't have 10 million players crawling all over it. Two, I want the single player experiences on the PS5 to be better polished. And if they have to simultaneously launch with PC, there's no way in hell that's happening.
That's true. Like it gives them a lot more time to polish it.
Look, if you're a PC gamer who is offended by this for some reason, I don't know. I think PC guys are going to start going insane over the next couple of years as the Switch 2 sucks up so much thing and like locks technological progress down.
Oh, yeah. The ray tracing people especially are going to lose their goddamn minds when it's people who are making a Switch 2 game aren't going to lean into ray tracing because it's not strong enough, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also, when you do that release 2 years later, you get another whole wave of popularity for the game. So people go and buy the PlayStation 5 version because they now know it exists.
And you guess what? You get people who own both, which is more people than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Have a gaming PC and a PS5 will double dip. And if you're a PC gamer, why are you offended? The PC port will be better because it didn't have to come out.
That's what I was going to say. Like the Nixie's ports have been really stellar, and they wouldn't have been anywhere near that good if it had to be simultaneously launched. Especially since Nixie's is handling these PC ports, not the studio's firsthand, except for Naughty Dog, who fucked up the launch of The Last of Us Part 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm all for this. I think that's the good game plan. I think the good game plan is the things that are multiplayer on both, and the things that are single player on at least PS5 for a few months even. Just to get a good, polished, singular focused experience there, and then worry about getting the PC version out later.
Yeah, it's just everyone who seems to be speaking up against it's like, dude, it's still coming to PC. What your complaint is you can wait? Well, wait.
I mean, shit, man. We've been making the argument for a lot of this year. Maybe just wait. Period.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It just comes off as insane, and it's like, oh, a lot of you like big journalists who are saying this are all guys who are Xbox guys. Maybe we don't listen to you on what anyone should do. Maybe that will kill the industry.
Yeah, no, that strategy is absolutely what's killing Xbox. If Xbox still had, like, if Halo was a game you could only get on Xbox, Halo Infinite would have any power.
Mm-hmm.
And it currently has none because it's in multiple places and nobody likes it.
Yeah.
It's not, I need to get it a Series X so that way I can play these games. It's on PC and enough people played it and I played it. Yeah, between Game Pass and the availability of those games on both platforms, they really made sure everyone knew what was up with all of their games, and they lack power because of that. It's really weird. Very weird. Anyway, let's move on.
Punch Microsoft some more.
God damn it, that's right. The next.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
More?
So, somebody who works for Start.gg, that is Microsoft's esports brand, which is now functionally dead, for the record. I don't think they even get the money to do shit anymore.
Oh.
But somebody on Twitter who got laid off went on a little bit of a tangent, explained they were like, okay, they want to get daily active. Well, they want us to drive daily active users on some of their stuff. Well, they own Killer Instinct. We'll run an online tournament for Killer Instinct. They partnered with Sad Jam, the FGC guy.
Mm-hmm.
It was super cheap. I think they said this cost $3,000 total to run this project. It did great. It bumped the daily active users up. The person who worked there was hoping to keep doing it because they own Killer Instinct. Then Microsoft came back and said, never do that again. We don't want people to think we might be making a sequel to Killer Instinct.
They're insane.
So, so a lot of game journalists got very indignant when people parsed the Tango and Arcane wanted to hire on to make a new game, so they were shut down as Microsoft will kill you if you want to make a game. Microsoft seemingly doesn't even want people to think they might be making a game.
Yeah.
Like, they are so detached from reality, they're fucked. And this was in 2021, so the brain disease has been terminal for a while.
Yeah, so after that, like not even that long after that, they did an update for Killer Instinct.
Yeah, 2 years after that.
So
I'm so sick of corporations. I'm so sick of mega corporations.
Yeah, they did
It's not
that-
even
they
just
did that-
wrong. It's crazy. Like we are breaching the Kafka barrier here.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's no world that makes sense.
I think we were offline when I said this, but I'm getting really sick of how aggressively these companies are trying to manage expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Sony thing telling you how many games will be in it before it goes live. It's like, God, you can have any kind of mystery.
No.
Like I just feel like we're getting really close to the you will not be just announce that we won't be excited by your thing. Just announce it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You reminded me of the whole Kyle Bosman bit where he's like, they said that Hi-Fi Rush wasn't a big impact game because they said that, they focused their studios on big impact games. And he's like, so when you do your world exclusive during the upcoming event, just tell us whether or not it'll be low impact or high impact so we can judge our expectations in advance. I was this is the funniest Bosman's ever been.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
Man, Hi-Fi Rush sure had a bigger impact than any game Microsoft has shipped in 6 years.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. And I'm supposed to be excited for Gears 6 next week.
No. I just can't be excited for anything there unless they are not making it.
The fucked up thing is I want to see the Gear 6. I want to play it. But the fact they will show a Gear 6, right? And it'll be like, look at this. If it's a reboot, I'm tired. If it looks so expensive that I don't know when it's coming, I'll be tired. Like, I'm going to see it and lose a year of my life is the point I'm at with these fucking companies. If it's a CG trailer, it will be the Ark of the Covenant scene.
Yeah. Dan, I have bad news.
I'm not looking forward to that. It better not happen.
It will absolutely be a CG trailer.
That is the oldest thing we've been giving them shit for.
Yeah. And they will keep doing it because they cannot learn.
Guys, when was the last time Microsoft just hit us with a CG trailer and said, this is our game? Because I feel like it was Call Contraband, right?
Yeah, Contraband and Fable, I think did it at the same time.
Yes. That was the year. I feel like that was like 2021 or something was the last year of them being like, CG trailer is game. And we go, no.
They're bringing it back this year, Dan. We got to get a whole new slate because they realized they had to close all the studios that were making the games that we already have CG trailers for.
I'm gonna walk into the fucking ocean.
Oh, man.
It's too much, man.
It is.
It's just too much, man. Chris, let's move on.
Incredibly fake-looking game Time Melters comes out on PS5 July 11th.
Now, listener, viewers specifically, if you're watching, I'm going to ask you to brace yourself. Chris, what does incredibly fake-looking mean?
That. Somehow the trailer looks more fake.
The trailer looks more like it's made mostly of like Unreal assets, store assets. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Like Chris had tweeted this trailer out, and he was like, "Holy shit, you have to see this for yourself," which to me read as positive. So I clicked on the video and thought, "Oh no, Chris has had a stroke."
The three other members of Big Thick Dimension lower Chris into the ground.
I'm sorry, stuff where it's like showing them rewind is so goofy and like split into multiple girls who do their little dance to shoot magic.
Mm-hmm.
God, it looks so bad. But anyway, that's out July 11th. It came out on PC in February. It exited early access.
It's actually very real, just also very bad.
We're just gonna go ahead.
Oh,
And,
no.
Let's
And
okay. This is the cool. We're gonna show you what melting time looks like.
God, I watched this on my phone, half asleep last time I watched it.
Oh my god.
Wait, you can burn up the steak? What?
I love that full-size animated tree. More games need to have that.
This is impressive in its strength.
There's something about it gives me Two Worlds energy.
Yes. Oh my god, it's like the God of War portal dimension. This is really quite something. This is, you know what? We're just gonna put this away. How about that?
yeah, we can put that away. I just thought it looked so ridiculous that we needed to say it.
Absolutely.
Also, since we covered my last news point already, they put DLSS 3 and Dragon's Dogma 2 on PC. So if you want that game to look worse, there you go.
That's the frame generation one. I know I have to explain that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the one where if you
make that happen.
That is the way if you want to turn soap opera mode on in your game and then hear people who own way too expensive PCs tell you why it's good, that the game actually runs worse to try and looks worse to try and fake running better, why that's actually good.
I think that final update for Redfall also added DLSS 3.
Oh
God!
But only for PC, I believe.
Let me be clear here, because not enough people are brave enough or informed enough on this to let you know. Frame generation looks fucking terrible, and anyone can tell you that. You can literally show any human frame generated gameplay, and they'll just go, "Yeah, that looks worse. I can't figure out why. That just looks wrong." I saw Digital Foundry put up their footage and stuff like publicly and talked about it on DF Weekly. The update for Immortals of Avium on Xbox Series X that adds the frame generation.
Ooh.
And it is literally no fast motion. That'll cause tons of artifacts. Don't change the color of things. That'll cause tons of artifacts. Don't turn too fast. That'll cause tons of artifacts. If there's a box with a transparency on it for a menu pop-up, that will run at half frame rate.
What a good technology. Worth investing in.
It was such a great idea at its face. No, investing in it was just such a fruitful business plan. This wasn't an incredibly stupid AI bullshit idea at all.
The future of games, apparently at the triple N game, as much of a future as they have, I cannot underscore that enough, is to make games that run like shit, look pretty bad, have no detail in them because they're pushing technologies that are too hard to push on these consoles, and then interpolate the frames, half of them. You know, I started thinking about it while watching the Immortals of Avium footage. Bob, you know what's funny? Say we were streaming that game right now.
Okay.
Say we were playing the Xbox Series X version of Immortals of Avium that has FSR3 frame generation.
Okay.
Which frames is the internet getting?
Probably,
Because we're getting 120. They might get nothing but the fake frames.
Incredible. I'm sure they won't notice.
Oh, you would if you got nothing but the fake frames, you'd be like, yo, what is the game dying?
Dan, I think you need a new console.
Hit it with the axe again.
Right, I was going to say, like, did you drill holes in the front of the Series X too? Oh, man. Yeah, so be excited for a bunch of these games to just have frame generation and all these tech guys to be like, no, it's so good. It looks great. That's it for normal news. We just want to real quick go over the gaming events that happened today.
All right.
So yeah, let's do the Sony one first. Concord, they showed it. We talked about it a bit. Its gameplay looks like Destiny, but it's an Overwatch because it has like 14 different characters that have very different designs and clearly different abilities.
And it's 5v5, which is that what Overwatch switched to?
No, that's what Overwatch is now because you used to be
Okay.
able to do 2 of each class.
Right.
And then they're like, don't worry, this results in better game.
No, it didn't.
It didn't. That's true. It is not free, apparently. That's what I'm reading here in this note. It is out August 23rd.
And it'll have a story, which is probably the excuse for it to be $70 because those cutscenes look high fidelity and really expensive.
It better not be $70, but it's very likely. We'll find out next week.
At the State of Play, we found out God of War Ragnarok on PC is coming out September 19th. That's great. For PC people who didn't play it yet, why am I looking at it here? Next news. Infinity Nikki was shown. It looks really fucking expensive.
Still insane how many different things there are in that game.
Would you like to ride
I'm really
bike?
excited for that game because it's like getting to play one of the mobile game ads that are for a game that is nothing like the mobile game ad.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like how much much can you ride that bike? Do you just ride that bike down that one hill?
Is it a cutscene?
Can you go
or
anywhere
is
on the
that
bike?
gameplay? Do we get to bike?
Yeah,
How
I
much
don't-
biking do we get? We don't know, and we're very excited to find out. Also, we got shown Dynasty Warriors Origins, the first good-looking Dynasty Warriors in over one console generation. Holy shit.
I'm so excited and so
Yep.
worried.
I can't be worried. You can't get lower than the last two. Like, the scope already makes it more fascinating. The last game was like, it's all flat, it's all blurry, it looks like shit, there are a bunch of units, nothing compelling's happening. Here, at least our character looked like they had cool moves. Calling it Origins and making it like, oh, so this is some unknown person who's entered the fray. There's an idea there that's better than any idea they had with the last two entries. By two entries, I mean the Empire's version of 9 and 9.
Yeah, so the 9 Pantheon, which has lasted like a decade.
Yeah.
What if this is structurally identical to not 9?
It wouldn't be on a scale of we've already looked at the trailer and there's elevation and ideas of archery that simply were not there before in the way that's already shown to be in this trailer. This looks awesome. I'm excited for this. I'm optimistic for this. I cannot believe a fucking Dynasty Warriors made by Omega Force that isn't branded Sony at all shows up at a State of Play.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Because it looks fucking expensive. That's why. Mm-hmm. Ballad of Antara. Somebody else talk about it.
This is when we found out it's free to play.
And this is the one where on a raft made of wood, a giant platform on the ocean, he's fighting the giant fish and then the smaller person, right?
No,
Or was
this
that
is
a
the other
different
one.
one?
This
Okay,
is the other.
right.
This is one where he has the kid. I think the other one
yeah.
is the one that's free, and this is the one is paid.
No, Ballad of Antara was a free one. I remember reading that just a second ago, because Where Winds Meet is the other one, which is more traditionally Chinese. Man, they sure did show these two things that are both like giant games made by...
Yep. Ballad of Antara is a Genshin-like because it says starring multiple characters called emissaries. So you're just gonna roll for a character in that, just like Genshin.
Yeah. And Ballad of
that's-
Antara is the one with the little kid that rides the dude's back. Like you
Yeah.
can see over here, the little kid and the dude.
That is
Okay.
also what Infinity Nikki is, because that is also on iOS and Android when it comes out. So I assume it will just be another thing. We probably roll for clothes in that.
Right.
Hell yeah. Was Antara the one that looked like Elden Ring, or was that Where Winds Meet?
Yes.
Okay.
Whereas Where Winds Meet was the one I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That was immediately shown after that.
Cool.
It looked really hype.
Yeah.
There was a Crouching Tiger moment.
There was. And this is where the Wind Beat was actually announced a full year ago with some more gameplay.
Oh.
So maybe that's closer than the other, but I don't know.
Cool.
I really need them to only show one of these Chinese super games per event.
Or space it out at all.
Or at least if they're
Because they
multiple,
literally
have
put
like,
them back to back.
Yeah, they put them back to back. You can have something as wildly different as Infinity Nikki because the art
Right.
style is wildly different.
Right, whereas
you're not
these-
going to bring a stake that.
Uh-huh. Whereas
Now you-
these were two 3D third-person action games.
Mhm.
Yeah. Marvel's Rivals is announced for the PS5 and Series consoles. It's Overwatch. But Marvel,
Whoa.
is it good? I don't know.
I heard good things about it from people online, but also that they had to sign a waiver that said we could never say anything bad about it ever.
Yeah.
So who knows?
There are heroes on both sides. Monster Hunter Wilds was shown once again. It looked cool. They sailed a boat across the sand. It looked dope as fuck.
Some Gyaru girl.
Gyaru.
Gyaru.
Guy Gaylor girl.
Well,
I don't know. She wasn't stacked enough for that.
Right, no,
Guy
not even
Gaylor has
close.
specific standards. Yeah, no, it looks really neat. The only concern is like the trailer's 30 frames per second is clearly a very high-end game. It looked very, very impressive. Is there going to be 60 frames per second mode? Because Dragon's Dogma sure didn't have a real 60 frames per second mode. So who knows?
Yeah, no, worrying. But maybe the PS5 Pro, probably not.
Probably not. Silent Hill 2 Remake was shown. It was not funny. Later, when we watched the Silent Hill Direct transmission, I believe they call it, they showed scenes from the Silent Hill 2 movie, and I couldn't stop laughing because so many things about it are like, this is I'm there day one. I am there the instant it opens in theaters. I'm Rocco Bodieing my review at the end of the day. That looks so fucking funny. James Sunderland looks nothing like... He looks more like... you remember the Indiana Jones movie where his kid shows up? I can't remember the name of his kid. It's the fourth
Shia
one.
LaBeouf?
Yeah, he looks like Shia LaBeouf style greaser, but like a little bit longer hair to make him more 90s appropriate.
I don't know. Something about him just made me think Resident Evil, the newest super cheap movie, Leon Kennedy.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's something about him. Where he's
Somewhere between these two comparisons is James Sunderland in this film, which you might know is not at all what James Sunderland looks like. So that's delightful. By the way, Silent Hill 2 Remake comes out October 18th. I hope you're all excited. I know I
think
am.
it's 8.
Did I say 18th on
You did.
accident? Oh, 8th.
Yes.
I hope you're all excited.
Of course. I definitely want to play that. I don't want to play that.
I want to play that. I want Ankara
They
to
showed
play
him.
it too.
They showed like 10 minutes of gameplay. He didn't check one locked door. I don't know what the game is anymore.
Well, bad.
Until Dawn, I'm just going to read what was written here. Stupid fucking horse-ass remake comes out this fucking fall.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah. Just peak Sony incompetence right there. It's just still
What
into
a
a single
waste
game.
of resources.
What a waste of human life.
I have no idea how it looks better than the original. I doubt it does. I doubt it looks better in even one way.
I
Jim
bet it
Ryan
looks.
thinks it does.
I bet it
He's
looks
the one who fucking greenlit it.
more physically accurate in some minor lighting related way that artistically speaking is worse.
Great. Well, we're going to have to get Digital Foundry on here to figure out how they made it look better or worse.
Is it weird that when he said that we're gonna have to get Digital Foundry out here? My brain set them up as like the Justice League, so they're all like animated, like fucking 60s cartoon. Like John Linneman as a member of the Justice League is in my head running towards the perspective. We have to get them on the case. How is it actually good and based? Astrobot is just the name of the game they announced. It's just called Astrobot.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Because Astro's Playroom was the name of the launch game.
Right.
And then Astrobot Something Rescue is the name of the PS4 VR game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if the third Ape Escape game was just called Ape Escape.
Right, but the first Ape Escape wasn't called Ape Escape, so they get to get away with it. Which is very funny.
This is the worst named franchise in gaming history because Playroom is the name of the original game the Astrobots debuted in.
Yeah.
Then there's Astrobot VR Rescue, I think. Then there's Astro's Playroom, and now we're back around to Astrobot. Just Astrobot.
Sam.
Anyways, it's got 50 fucking levels in it. It looks
That is
fucking
wrong.
great.
It has 80 levels.
Wow.
This thing is going to be my game of the year, and if it isn't, I'm the happiest man on earth.
Yeah, this is gonna be real good. I'm a little confused about the aggressive self-filation Sony is doing when you don't deserve that right now, motherfucker.
No, they don't, but that's what they did at the PS5 launch, so it
That
was
was a game that was free with the PS5.
Yeah, it was a celebration of Sony's history. This is too.
They better to cash this check and actually start investing in their old stuff.
Hey, Sly Cooper comes out on the PS5 in like 2 weeks.
That's true. I have a little bit of faith now that they're finally putting any fucking games anybody wants on that PS2 emulation shit. I hope it works right. I hope we don't get reports that it's just fucked.
Somebody in chat wrote, this is so audacious, I need to read it because it's funny. A Game of the Year spoiler cast sponsored by Astrobot and Balatro. No one on staff has played Balatro.
Yeah,
No, and I don't intend to.
Yeah.
I think Aggro's the only one with a shot of playing this.
Yeah, I'm gonna get around to it.
You get your mainline heroin, bro?
I bounce off roguelikes real fast.
This is different. It's got numbers and things.
Yeah, it's a less. It doesn't have mechanics for me to be engaged with, so I'll probably bounce off it even faster, like I did with Vampire Survivors, a game that everybody loved, and I was like, that was a fun 8 hours. Time to never think about it again.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me. In fact, I'm going to look up right now exactly how many hours I put into Vampire Survivor. Because, that was the exact same thing for me, where everyone was like, oh, this is incredible. It's like game of the year for me, blah, 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 blah. And then I finally played, and I'm like, yeah, it was kind of fun, but then it wanted me to do a thing that was not fun. So I stopped forever. Let's see. Vampire Survivors, I did a total of 4.9 hours. So Balatro seemed like it was fun for a lot of people. I don't even think that's for me. At the Silent Hill transmission, we already talked about Silent Hill 2 remake. They just showed a gigantic chunk of it. And then they showed the Silent Hill 2 movie, and these were both neat, but then they showed the James Sunderland jacket you could get for $120, and I'm like, this seems like a real good jacket. So I'm thinking about it.
They also showed off the Sakura head figure you can buy.
You can get a red pyramid thing, Nendroid, or a Sakura head action figure. Like statue.
Yeah.
The naming's killing me.
Yes.
Marvelous Showcase happened at the same time as Sony State of Play, so we're going to go over that really briefly. They showed the new Story of Seasons, but it has no name. It's really high fidelity. That's the whole thing. They showed the Rune Factory, the one that's Project Dragon. It's still just called Project Dragon. They showed the combat in it, which is a lot more developed than it usually is in these sorts of things. Like, it was clearly going for really fancy looking animations and stuff.
Right.
Like, really over the top. What else? David Ex Machina was shown.
Sure.
They had a CG trailer of really sick imagery. That was about it. And Project Magia is now called Farm Magia because it's a farming game, a farming RPG with the fairy tale mangaka doing the art for it, and character designs and stuff. You can tell.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's art style just I have no interest, so I just want
Yeah.
to play that.
This is a blonde woman and she has big boobs.
Yeah, but her face is like terrible.
Why are you looking? That is an insult to his art. But no, I have no experience with Fairy Tail, but whatever. That art style sort of works for this. I'm all for it. And as Chris said, it is time to fulfill the meme that is farming RPGs keep showing up on Dan's top 10. Oh, man. Yeah, excuse me, my boobs are down here, just written on the shirt. His character should wear a shirt that says that. But there's a boob window. That way they can say that above the boob window.
It's like, or is this like, where do you even print this?
That is a great question. But that's it. That's it for Big Think Dimension, right? As we were talking about, regrettably, Bob and I guess, are streaming Lair on Sunday.
Joy of joys.
Bob, you've never beaten Lair, right?
No, of course not.
Aggro, you've never beaten Lair, right?
Nope.
Chris, have you ever beaten Lair?
I've never played Lair. Why would I play Lair? It was the butt of every joke when it first came out.
But true believers.
To put this into context,
I was never a Sony fan. When the PS3 was a thing, I was a Nintendo fanboy.
To put this into context, me, Bob, Aggro, and a number of other friends, at this exact point, 2007, it is the end of an era. We are Sony ponies.
Mm-hmm.
And Lair came out, and it was like the only one none of us defended. The one guy.
Yeah, one guy.
One guy was brave enough back then to defend it. And it was like, actually, I think the motion controls are really good and compelling. Then they did the update where they could play without the motion controls, and they're like, oh, thank God. And we're like, wait a minute. So I'm very interested to see how the motion controls are, how the frame rate is, because I'm pretty sure it's like 15
at most, yeah.
Mystic
Man.
Ryan from Let's Talk PlayStation actually tried to do, he does videos sometimes where he goes back and he plays iconic PS3 games like Folklore. He did a Folklore video right after we did our stream of it.
Mm-hmm.
He did the same with Lair, and he's like, no. Somewhere 5-6 hours in, all hope dropped out of him. He's like, this is bad. This is terrible.
Man, that Factor 5 really did have like a terrible run at the end there. Like, what if we pitched terribly to Nintendo 3 times and failed every time?
Yeah,
because we did everything wrong.
They pitched 2 different projects, if I remember correctly. And then with the Kid Icarus one, they're like, no, it's God of War. And they're like, well, your design seems a little bad. And Nintendo sent them a character design. And they said, no, we'll go with ours. And Nintendo went, well, we're not going with you.
Right? It's like, I don't know how you thought this would work out.
Right.
We're Nintendo. You do not get to do what you want with RP.
Not to be. Yeah, I changed my mind. I don't care if this sounds like I'm a dick. Every single time we get the story of Western company wants to make Japanese IP game, oh, how put upon they are that the IP holder did not let them. I'm like, guys, this would have been bad. Like, I don't think that the world missed out on the first-person shooter Mega Man X game.
I actually would have liked to have seen that. However, this specific thing was like,
I don't think the world missed out on Crystal Dynamics getting to make a Final Fantasy.
Again, it'd be interesting, but it'd be bad. Like, I'm convinced it's
really bad.
It would have contributed to the rich tapestry of gaming history.
Yeah, much like the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand contributed to the rich tapestry of actual history. Like, and I can't even say DMC, the DMC isn't even fascinating.
No,
It's
not
just
really.
bad. Like, Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z isn't fascinating. It's just bad.
Yeah, with the Mega Man X thing, like, if we didn't also know it had those awful, like, boring looking Iron Man designs for the suits, I'd be a little more interested. But knowing that just kind of kills it for me.
I would have liked to see it done to completion because it was being made by Armature, which was former Retro Studios.
Yeah, but it was also being overseen by Keiji Inafune because there would be no bar quality.
Yeah, that much is certain.
Yeah.
It'd be like, oh, it's bootable? Ship it. I'm like,
yeah,
why?
I have to embezzle as much money as possible before they throw me out of the company, allegedly.
Allegedly. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, the summer game events are upon us. So you need to be keeping an eye out. We're going to have the GigaBoots fan Discord eventually. A pinned thing in announcements, may even make a new channel for it, that's going to have time code converters for Discord to tell you in your time zone when these are, so that way you can keep track of it live. And we will regrettably be live with way too much of it.
Yes.
Oh, and no one bring up OTK. It's not funny.
No.
We went through that last year, and sadly, humanity is still stuck with them.
Put OTK on the word filter, Dan.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
This ain't even funny.
Yeah, we did not know what they were when we covered them last year.
They are scum.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of Big Think Dimension. Layer, Lair, because people are looking up Layer.
Yeah, not the Mega Man X
How
character.
do you people stop Googling Layer and start Googling Layer?
I'm sure there's plenty of Layer fan art.
It's going to be like the Spyro Dragon in Layer armor.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a dragon game. It's a flying dragon game made by Factor 5 for the PS3, and it's trying to be huge and AAA and cinematic, and it runs like total shit and uses motion controls. Come on by on Sunday. After that, we will see you for Big Think Dimension or Big Think Summer Game Events. Bye. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. Big Think Dimension is only possible because of you and your support over at patreon.com/gbpodcast, where you can get access to extra gamer premonitions, more info on armchair devs, early access to Pokemon Go to the movies and Chugging Bleach, and of course, access to the only place to see Isolation 119. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast.